T-minus 20 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
LadyChann! Fight!
Yo, how you going? It's LadyChann, nonetheless, and welcome to Come Box with Chan. I forgot to, I nearly didn't add myself in the stream. Give me 1 minute, 1 second, guys. 1 second. Okay, I'm reloaded. What's going on? Wow, it's quite hot today. It's a warm night today, man. Jeez, had to spray on my mosquito fly spray because they get me, especially if you wear oils or anything like that, which they're just more attracted to. They make me sick. Okay, so this is the weekly wrap up show, just a little later than scheduled. Is Jake Paul a fraud? Let's get this banner going because this is crazy. Is Jake Paul a fraud? Danny Garcia, Billiam, Smith, Isaac, Chamberlain. That was a mad one. That was a slug fest. Wait 1 second. Don't want any sound effects yet. Let's get that up and working. Let's get that up and working. Okay, so let me just see make sure I know what's called. I need to get my tilter thing. I don't know why I keep getting it in my room. Jake Paul, a fraud, because man, with this Hasim Rahman debacle, Danny Garcia. Oh, Danny Garcia. / Billiam Smith and these Isaac Chamberlain. That was crazy. Chamberlain. We pronounce it Chamberlain. It's quite funny, isn't it? The weekly wrap up shiggity show. Chamberlain. The weekly wrap up show. Is Jake Paul a fraud? Isaac, Danny Garcia, Billiam Smith, vs Isaac. Yeah, the weekly wrap up shiggity show. Okay. Wow. Let me hear what I sound like through the headies. Does my mic sound nice? Got blue lipstick on the mic now. Just kissed it. Does my mic sound nice? Chickity check 1, check 2. Does my mic sound nice? Okie dokes. Let's see who's in the building. Right, let's go. Right, we have Wizard Sleeve in the building. No, sorry, Wizard. Yeah, Wizard Sleeve. We have Modern King Boxing. King Ran, the motherfucking Don in the building. We have my sister Lisa Bowles in the building. Okay. Right. Let's just put this out, and then we're gonna introduce the co-host who's in the building. Just put that out here like that. Let's go. Right. I'm introducing. 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 Kenny Ken is in the building. Ding, 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 ding. Where are you, Ken? No, Kenny Ken. It's like Kenny Ken has frozen in the building. Kenny, you were frozen in the building. You're gonna have to try again. Ken bars. Ken, something happened. You froze. You froze, old matey. You did. You froze. You're frozen when your heart's not open. If I could melt your heart. Kenny Ken, you're going to have to try again. Because, yeah, something's gone wrong. Something's gone wrong. So if I kick you out and then you try again and come again, Kenny Ken. Yeah. We got AJ all day. The link is in the building. You guys know how it goes. Shall I? I think I will turn this slide off. Okay. Shall I have this light off? I think I should. This one will go off. Yeah. And then outside will be green all day. Is it green? Is it a green day? Yeah. Outside will be green. Yeah. Green. In the building. Okay, so we've got Kenny Ken in the building. Kenny Ken!
Hello.
Ken, what happened? It was a...
I froze, and then I went out, and then you're back introduced me. I'm back now, but I just want to say it's been a action-packed weekend, especially in the seaside town of Bournemouth. Great fight for me. You know, there's certain things that I have to mark down on one of the fighters. I didn't like great fight. Like, echoing.
Yeah, that was me playing it through my phone.
Oh, let's just say, until you make it big, cut out the antics, Mr. Whittaker, please. And as for other things in boxing as well, I'm sure the main topic is going to be. All I'm going to say is that when you get into bed with people like that, then that's going to happen. I don't think anyone should be surprised about the events and the fast that is one of the YouTubers, because people obsessed with money and getting people in the ring. There's a lot of patronising terms by promoters who don't believe a thing they say about, isn't it lovely to get new people in the sport? Don't make me laugh. Don't make me laugh. It's all about that.
Yeah, we go. All right, so let's see where we're starting. We've got Pimp My Sniper in the building as well. Hey, Pimp, what up? So, okie doke, we are going to start with, and we'll need it orderly, Pimp My Sniper. We won't want interjections and talking over if you're on there, okay? Just to let you know, okay? Right.
Yeah.
Okie dokes. Okay, so. Right, we're going to start with our card that we had with Sky Boxer, and that was right. So, Kenny, what Pimp? Yes, Pimp. We know. I'm getting there. See, I know you're already going to do it already. You're going to jump all over when I'm talking. Yeah, we're gonna. Everyone's gonna get. You see how I run it. Everyone's going to get to talk. When I say, like, everyone's going to get to talk, everyone's going to get to talk. My sister Lisa Bales is in the building. What up, sis?
Hey, how's everybody doing?
How's everybody doing? We are good. We are in the building. Thanks for
Good.
joining us.
Yeah. Hey, Kenny Cannon, Pit My Sniper, and Lady Chan.
Yes. Okay. All
Hi,
right. So
Lisa.
we had a card. I'm not sure
Hi.
if you got to catch up on it because I didn't. I sent you the Chris Billiam Smith one in the group. The grueling fight that one fought with a smashed orbital bone. But shall we start with Kenny Ken? Do you want to start with quickly Ben Whittaker? Let's start with.
You know
Ben.
what?
Ben.
I understand. I fully understand that he's got to sell himself. He's got, get sponsorship. But come on, mate. Don't do that to your opponent. Don't take the mickey like that. I wasn't impressed. I don't like fighters who do that.
Yeah.
I didn't like it when Nassim Hamed did started doing the show butting and dancing. Your levels above your opponent. You know your levels above your opponent, but I'm sorry, don't do that. But we're a small community, the boxing community. We don't like fighters who behave like that. Save that for I can understand. Oh yeah, but let's see what's happened. Nassim Hamed earned the right to do that.
Yeah.
But and then you got Adrian Boner. I'm the problem. Well, when he fought Madonna, I'm sure Madonna sort of solved that problem as well. You know what I mean? So I don't like that. But in terms of his ability,
so
in terms of his ability, there's a lot of ability there. I love his feet. I love his quick hands, and I love the fact he's very, very difficult to hit. But I can understand why he does it. But me personally, not a fan of those kind of antics. Not a fan at all. But I'm old fashioned. I'm old fashioned. I've always been, two men have a fight, entertain the crowd, shake hands afterwards, and have
100%.
lifetime respect. Yeah,
That's right.
But if that's how Shalom's going to promote him, crack on with it. If it suits him, it works for him, and it sells tickets. Good luck with him. Good luck to him.
Yeah. I liked him. Well, he's a very good Olympian, as we saw. He was our standout geezer. Sky was bidding. I mean, Eddie was bidding quite aggressively for him, but Boxer really wanted him, and they was going back and forth, and he decided to settle with Sky Boxer, and I like he's going to be the guy that you either love to hate or hate to love. Like, you're either going to want to see him win or you're going to tune in to see him lose. And I've seen his personality. This is just a part of his personality. I like fighters that bring entertainment value. I mean, yes, he's going to have to definitely show that he can do the damn thing. But he's out there with with Sugar. He's with Sugar Hill. And he's got the power, and as we saw, all right, it's his debut, but it was a good debut just to have a knockout. He probably come off his game plan for the first round and come back on in the second, and that's a bit that he's going to have to learn, and he's going to have to make sure that don't let your arrogance or your entertainment value overstep your absolute game plan. But I mean, that was a phenomenal KO fatality. Okay, so what's Pimp My Sniper? What have you got to say on that fight? I know the other two guys didn't maybe get to see that because they was in the States, so I don't think it was showing. I don't think. Did you see it, Pimp? No? Yeah? I know we're going to have problems with Pimp. Just, yeah, all right, moving onwards. Okay,
Hi,
so
Chan.
hi AJ all day in the building. Yay! Pimp, you're gonna have to there you are, Pimp, you're gonna have to we're having problems already, so we're gonna have to wait. Let's not interrupt the show, having you back and forth at the minute. So okay, so I know you didn't get to see. Did you get to see the Chris Billiam? I mean, the Ben Whittaker debut.
No.
No.
I did. I saw snippets of it. Somebody put some highlights of the fight on Twitter. He's got a fan in me, man. I love that kid. I freaking love that kid. He was having me rolling just with his antics, what he was doing, and like that's cool now. I mean, you can tell this guy's this kid's a showman. He really loves to show up and show out, and he's gonna garner like more fans if he does that. He got a fan of me. I'm like, oh snakes. That's the first time I actually ever seen him fight. I might never seen him fight amateur. Yeah, and you know how you just showed out like that, then put him away in the second round. Like that's cool for journeyman, but as you move up levels, you won't be able to get away with stuff like that. And I think he needs to be mindful of that in the future. But for what he's doing now, keep him active. And yeah, man, shout out to Ben Whittaker, and I'm a fan. And I didn't catch the main event, but thank you, Chan, for putting it in the group chat. I'm gonna watch it tonight when I'm at work tonight. So I couldn't they weren't showing it. I couldn't find it anywhere. So, but thank you for putting a link. I'm gonna catch it later.
No worries. Yeah, no worries. That was yeah. So that as for a debut, I have to say for a debut, you know, that's how you want a debut to look. You know, it's a journeyman, but at the end of the day, you want to spark him out and in devastating fashion and keep it moving. He's got a fan in me as well. Sis, did you see it?
No, I didn't even know you put it in there.
No, I
just saw.
No, I didn't put the Ben Whittaker one. I put the Billiam Smith v. Isaac Chamberlain.
No, I didn't see it.
Yeah, Billiam Smith was only 2 rounds. So yeah.
Oh, okay.
Rounds. Yeah.
Yeah.
Isaac,
wow. Yeah.
Isaac.
Yeah, I'll definitely check it out.
Okie dokes.
It was a good fight though. It was a great fight though, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. It was it was a great fight. It was a fucking great fight. All right, so yeah. If you're gonna keep bouncing in and out, you just you're gonna have to stay out time to keep.
That was a mistake. This whole Chris Billiam Smith fight, right? Oh my god.
We haven't got there yet, by the way. So yeah, I was asking about Ben Whittaker.
Oh.
So we've all did Ben Whittaker. Your turn on Ben Whittaker. Did you see the Ben Whittaker fight?
No.
Okie dokes. Okay. All right, Kenny Ken. So we are going to move on to what's the next fight you want to move on to on the card, Kenny Ken, on that card?
I think we should go to the main event because I think it created a lot of talking points because I think it was like to a certain extent it was for the European and Commonwealth titles, you know, cruiserweight fight. A lot of the pundits on Sky, you know, if you went to Johnny Nelson and you went to who was it? Johnny Nelson, who else was there? Richard Rackenpaw, they had Chamberlain winning. Chamberlain as a favourite, and I forgot the other, and then the other pundit had my guy Billiam Smith winning. And for me, one of the things I like about Chamberlain, and I don't like about Chamberlain, his stamina and condition, his fitness in these long fights. You know, he's been inactive. I know he's done his sparring. I know he's done his his training and everything, but there's no substitute for actual action in a fight, and I think that kind of showed. Because a lot of times,
can you stop interrupting?
Sorry.
Yeah. So a lot of times when he did fight, there were times when he was like kind of square, when he was too square on for me, when he was trying to trade, when he didn't need to trade, and there were times where he got beaten to the jab. You know, his defense, even though he showed a heart of a warrior, I like Chris Billiam Smith's defense a lot better than his. Like Chris Billiam Smith, even though he was easy to hit, he was getting hit with punches ran the sort of head rather than the straight jab. It was very easy to catch, Isaac Chamberlain with a jab, and that's one of the mistakes he was making. But that could be down to rustiness. But in terms of warrior's heart, oh my God, what a man! I think what killed Chamberlain during those fights is that when he did have Billiam Smith under pressure, he couldn't sustain it for the full 3 minutes of the rounds that he was on top, where there were times when he was allowing Billiam Smith to nick the rounds. Like Billiam Smith has got a power advantage. Like he's a bigger man, and he was able to sit on him, take a rest in the 8th round, and then try and cement his lead. Because towards the championship rounds, he kind of pulled away. It's pretty close for the first 6 rounds. Then he kind of pulled away. And even towards the end, when Billiam Smith was tiring, I thought Chamberlain had him. He had him. Maybe that's tireless, but he actually had him. And then Unfortunately, there wasn't enough time. But over the whole fight, great advert for Shane McGuigan getting his man into shape, and also great advert for Chamberlain. What a warrior! What a warrior! But it's one of those things is that before he gets a chance again at this level, he has to be more active. Sort his injury out, but be more active. Have more rounds. It's no good sparring. Just have fights. Have fights. Get onto your promoters and say, "Come on, get me out there." Because I think he's with the Wasserman, isn't he? With the Souths. So he needs to be after he settles his injury. Nag Keller and just say, "Look, come on, get me out here," because there's still a pathway for this guy. He's got a lot of ability, but at the moment, the more active fighters like Billiam Smith, Rackenford, and obviously a Collier as well, they're going to be that kind of level above him. Because I know he fought a Collier as well, and then there was another close fight, but inactivity is killing him. I know there was an issue with his one of his relatives. I think it was an uncle that basically stole a bit of his money. That the money was meant because I think his uncle was representing him for the Collier fight, and then that's why he was inactive because there was legal things with his uncle, and that's probably another reason, personal problems. But get more active because you're not that far away, but your lack of conditioning and lack of fight practice is gonna cost you big in terms of getting in that big time because you're not that far away in terms of ability.
Yeah. Mally Mal, watch it. It's fucking. It's the UK, we love a good domestic dust up. It was grueling. Pimp, you can speak next, and then after you speak, can you bounce back into the chat after you say your bit, please?
Oh,
go ahead. What? Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
No, I was just gonna reiterate what this geezer said.
Kenny. Go on.
Kenny. Fantastic points. Yeah.
All right, he's got to go. I haven't got time for his shit today.
Is he okay?
No, I ain't got time. I don't have time for when he's just like 3 sheets to the wind and wants to come and just ruin the show like that. So just disrupt shows show disruptor. We have a super chat in the building. We out here, UK all day. True Media in the building. King Ron the Don, Modern King Boxing. Thank you, Ron. Thank you very much. Thank you for that 2 squid on dropping that on your gazelle. Yeah. What have I got to say about that fight? Like, Ken, so listen, that was literally going down as that's a classic cruiserweight fight for the UK. Listen, the last time he fought Isaac Chamberlain, I think he didn't he have a dislocated arm or shoulder, and he fought on with that as well.
He's had a few injuries and he's had a few managerial problems, and obviously the situation with his money with a relative. So, but in terms of inactivity, a lot of fighters have gone past him because remember we got I think we've got Dan Aziz as well, who's now making waves, joining on the same sort of promoter with as Rackenford. So again, he's kind of moving slightly away from React4.
React4.
You know what? It's a different. React4. Teach me how to pronounce it. So React4.
You don't pronounce the hate.
React4. All right, React4. All right. So in terms of Aziz, he's another one who's getting the exposure. He earned his right, to get the exposure, and he's another one who's going to be more active. He's going to be pulling away from Isaac Chamberlain. So again, after your injury, it's just get active because the ability's there. But what will hold him back is that it's his stamina. In the championship rounds, he will run out of gas, and then it will be a situation where people won't knock him out because he's got a heart of a lion. But it'll be a comfortable points victories if he doesn't sort out his conditioning.
Yeah, I mean that eye injury. At first, we just thought it was his, just like a remedial, just a normal, bloody eye. But his orbital bone was smashed from the 3rd round, and guys, he went the distance with a smashed orbital, and still was getting smashed in that. Can you imagine?
Wait, what?
He broke it. The guy, Billiam Smith, broke Isaac Chamberlain's orbital bone in round 3, and he still stayed in the fight.
Oh my God!
All the way to round 12, still getting punched in the eye without. Could you imagine the pain? And he never even showed it.
Wow.
Or you mean like Daniel Dubois? Unlike Daniel Dubois. Well,
Daniel Dubois got his eye done early rounds, and he stayed in till the 10th.
The 10th, yeah.
Do you know what? So shouts out, because I know that cracked bone is touching on nerve, so even if you do that, that's painful. Like
if you notice a lot of boxers are getting that.
You have to shout out to Isaac Chamberlain. Yeah. A lot of boxers are getting that. I don't know
Billy Joe as well. I think it's Billy Joe as well. I think what's happening right now is, again, a lot of fighters now, in my opinion, they're not defending. They're not using the defense more. They think, instead of keeping their hands up, all they care about is head movement. But you still got to protect yourself at times. You see Billiam Smith, when Isaac Chamberlain was trying to punch straight on, there were times when he had to go to the body and he had to come around the sides, but he wasn't going straight on and punching through the guard, because Billiam Smith's defense was brilliant. But Isaac Chamberlain was, although he was using head movement and feet as defense, but you always got to keep your hands up, because I'm seeing with a lot of fighters, especially when they get beaten to the jab, what that is it's ultimately is continual pandage by the jab that does the eye. You know what I mean? Obviously, in Billy Joe Saunders' case, it was kind of different. It was the uppercut took him by surprise. But normally, if I was to fight you, LadyChann, and I was keep on hitting that target, that jab, and it's not just a flick. It's like I'm using my whole feet. I'm stepping in. I'm going bang, 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 and that's a typical target. Your eye's gonna go. You know what I mean? And that's
not defending it. Yeah. If you ain't got the head movement to get the fuck out of dodge, you're gonna.
If you don't have the head movement, it's the arms. It's the arms. You've got to have you got to tuck in. Yeah. Tuck in. Because I know people, I think what it is the reason why people don't tuck in, because when they tuck in, they worry about the body punches that opens them up. But sometimes a good defense will stop a lot of these injuries.
Yeah, because we're seeing orbital bone smashes on the rise here. And he's I don't know. If he went up to heavyweight, he'd be too small. I think he would. I wonder if he could he do better at light heavy, do you reckon? Going down, or do you think that would be hard for him to do that? Because I don't know, he's a small.
No, I think what's happening, because I think what will happen is that he'll be too big for the weight.
He'd be too big and probably be dry. Yeah, it's just weird. He's not a massive cruiserweight, but he's not. He's solid. But he's not a big. Yeah, I don't see him. I don't know.
You know, it is with a lot of fighters nowadays. A lot of our fighters. I always worry about their conditioning. I always had that problem with James DeGale and George Groves. Their conditioning. I knew about their ability. They had great ability, but in a championship round, especially George, and there were times when I thought, "Come on, you're fading here, mate." You know what I mean? You run out of gas, because I think George is kind of a good boxer, but he's an explosive fighter, and sometimes they're built for to knock people out. Some fighters are like that. Some fighters aren't built for the 12 rounds, or back in the day in the 60s and 70s and the mid 80s 15 rounds. You know what I mean? And I think that's the thing we have in boxing. The condition has to be better for certain fighters.
Yeah, Misfit in the building. What up, man? Hey girl. Yeah. Okay, so that was a war. Anybody that hasn't seen it, go and Google it. If you're in the stateside, Google it. Sky's put that fight out. It was an amazing fight. Trust me, that was a fight to see. Okay, so then we moved over. What other fights was there before we get over to this? Do we go over to Jake Paul now in this debacle? or that was mainly okay. So we didn't really get to see so far. Had Sky put out the what was the card that you guys watched again? You guys, what was it? There was the come on, Lisa.
What, Danny Garcia?
Garcia.
Yeah.
We didn't get to see that.
No, that was a
We
No, we
Showtime
didn't get
card.
to
So
see
yeah.
that.
Yeah, that
We
was on Showtime.
have Showtime
Yeah,
cards.
we didn't get to see
Okay,
that in England.
no,
Yeah.
I want. Let me Google it and see if Sky, has Sky put that out yet?
Well, no,
Sometimes,
Sky, they do ESPN cards, not Showtime. I think so.
yeah,
That's
but sometimes they put, or someone sometimes puts it out.
Do they? Okay.
Sometimes, yeah. Like last time, Sky put out they put it out as a full fight, but I don't know. King of King Boxing in the building. What up, King Ron, the motherfucking dog? Let me see. Danny Garcia, Jose Benavidez. Showtime. Yeah, maybe not. You might be right, guys. There's highlights. Yeah. Oh, full fight. No, not. Said some people mark it down as full fight, and then you look at it's 12 minutes and 30 something seconds. There's bits. There's more bits. There's PBC's put out the highlights on it, and
Those highlights don't do it justice. PPC highlights suck.
yeah, I know they're rubbish. So do you want to talk about the Jake Paul? Let me talk about the Jake Paul thing before we go over to that card. King Ron the Don, what up, Doe? King Ron the Don in the building. Ron? Finkley? Is everybody having technicalities today? Ronald? Is he muted? Let me see. No, he's not even muted. I'll remove you and then you'll have to jump back on because it looks like you're having problems connecting devices.
By the way,
So
Chad, I'm about right. I'll be back right on my laptop. All right.
Okay, Julio.
Yep.
Okay, so Ken in the building. So we're going to talk about before we move on to Danny Garcia because we'll end with the Danny Garcia and all of that as well. But because I know that's got people up in arms, but want to touch on this is Jake Paul a fraud? Because in my opinion, this has gone mad. This has gone super duper crazy. So as we saw in the last couple of days, we have seen King Ron. Is your devices connected?
Yeah, I'm good to go. Thank you.
Good. Oh no, that's King of King.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's why I was confused. I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah. Sorry, my bad. I thought you and Ronald Finkley have a similar. Yeah, sorry, Ron. I thought that was you. You guys have a similar AV. Nice for joining us. We are going to chop this. Did you see? No, you didn't see the Chris Billiam slip. So we're going to go on to Jake Paul. Then we'll go on to the Danny Garcia. So, right. As we saw this fight unfolding with Hasim Rahman Jr. And then all of a sudden, 2 days ago, we saw that there was no fight. The fight was off. Now, I don't know what to think of this because it's like I'm watching different commentaries and I'm like, well, maybe Rock shouldn't have signed up for something that he couldn't get down to 200. And then they put the limit up to 205. And then they said we can do 210 and 215. And then Jake Paul was like, I don't understand if a fighter doesn't make weight, you wait until at least the weigh-in, the official weigh-in the day before the fight. And then, then you start to penalize, I don't understand. It looked like it was a get out clause real quick that Jake Paul woke up, smelt the roses and thought, no, this is going to get real bad for me. I'm probably going to be a highlight reel and be KO'd. And then the fight was off. Then we saw Hasim Rahman Jr. come out yesterday on Fight Hype, also on his Instagram, discussing about what's happened. And then we saw Jake Paul talking about, these boxers aren't serious, they're this, they're that, and the other. So I'll start with AJ all day first on this one. AJ, what do you make? Whose fault is this? Is Jake Paul a fraud?
Yes.
Quite easy.
Yeah. Well, because the thing is, like, until Jake, in my mind, fights somebody credible and beats them, that's all he's going to be. He's just a circus act. And if he was really about that life, or about that boxer's mentality, he'd have fought Hasim Rahman anyway, despite the weight difference. You know, that's what real fighters do. That's what real warriors do. They don't give a shit about weight. You know, I mean, rehydration clause, all this kind of stuff. That's just the way to handicap Hasim. I mean, but in terms of whose fault it is, well, isn't Jake in Showtime? They're the masterminds behind this whole thing, and they canceled the event and they chose not to go on with it. So I guess we could blame them for the most part. But then Hasim is like, well, at the same time, my guy, you signed a contract, and you know if you couldn't make weight, then that's kind of still on you too. But you know you could attribute more of the blame to Jake because they're the ones who were pulling the strings behind all this. They could have had the fight go ahead. You know, I'll continue to do the best I can. I mean, like Hasim could have been like, I'll do the best I can to like get my weight down as much as I could, but I'm not going to I probably won't make the target weight. And if and I watched some Hasim. He said like, y'all can penalize me, don't pay me as much, I'll take penalties, whatever else, but don't cancel the show. I mean, it's like because now the whole show was scrapped. You know what I mean? Like they pulled the plug on the whole damn thing.
Yep, whole show.
Like all that time wasted, It's like, I mean, but before I move on, I actually came across something very, very amusing on Twitter that I'd like to read for you. Let me see if I can bring it up. Okay, yes, here we go. So Jake Paul came out and said, he released a statement. He said, Canelo and I is one of the biggest fights to be made in boxing, and I know I can beat him. People laugh at that, but Dmitry Bivol showed he is very beatable. And get this, I have a style, range, speed, and power similar to Bivol. Now, let me just follow up with this. I don't know what drugs this boy on, but I got to get me some, man, because I need to hide. Like
I need to be deluded like that just for like maybe a day, to while away my problems as well, because that is wild. When did he tweet that? Today?
The Zone released it like a few hours ago. Yeah, like today. It was today.
Yeah, he's just a troll. King of King Boxing. What do you think about this? Whose fault is this? And what's your take on all of this?
This is on Jake Paul. He could have. Here's the thing: from the beginning, it was on him. There was always a possibility of dragging somebody down that this may happen. There was other alternatives that could happen as well. I seen Rockman said just in case this happened, they had an alternative opponent that was already a cruiserweight and it was ready to go. He canceled the whole card. I like you said, I think it was a get out of jail free card. I think he realized what he was about to get himself into. You could see from the pressers that this was the first time he kind of looked worried. So I think it was an easy way for him to back out. He canceled the whole card. Like I said, they had opportunities for a fill-in fighter. It's a clown show. We just saw a good fight this weekend at cruiserweight, Smith and Chamberlain. So it's just like there's like hundreds of cruiserweights, 6-0, 12-0 guys he could be fighting, but he tried to drain a guy down who he realized even draining down was going to be a problem for him, and he found a way to get out of the fight. Now, I hear there's other things that may entail like ticket sales or all this other stuff. I don't know, but it's on him. It's on his whole team. Quit doing ridiculous stuff. Quit. This is actually his boxing debut. All them other fights aren't real fights. This is the first fight you have, and somehow you screwed it up. So, yeah, it's definitely all on Jake Paul.
Does Hasim Rahman Jr. Bear any responsibility saying that he could get down to 200 pounds, knowing that really he couldn't? And, then he said, it was a weird thing because yesterday he's like, oh, we still got a week and I'm 215 and I can get down to 205. I can make 205. So if you could make the 205, and why wasn't you coming down? Like, I heard he stayed at 215 for like, you come down from 225, or he said the mid 220s, the high 220s after his last fight. And then he's lost only 1 pound. Like after coming down to 216, he lost 1 pound in the last like couple weeks. So I don't know. The commission was just like, according to them, I don't know how real this is. Like you're gonna not be able to take off 10 pounds safely in 1 week. Does he bear any responsibility for saying that he can make a weight that he definitely just couldn't do, or can he make that weight or not? Is it? Yeah.
I think here's the thing about it. Let's just say if we give him a percentage, I'll go ahead and give him a healthy 10% but is somebody that was involved in a lot of things like that. Like I was involved in sports. Sometimes when you're cutting weight, you hit a wall, especially if you're trying to go somewhere you've never been before. So maybe that, like, naturally he was cruising, like he said, he was 225. The first 10 pounds come off. He could water weight drain, 10 pounds in a week. But like you said, it gets to a place of being dangerous, and maybe he was working on it, just couldn't get no further, and he just hit that plateau, and there was nothing to do. So I'll say about 10%, because like I said, if you ain't been 200 pounds since you were like 15, it's like, okay, so maybe this might not be a good idea. But at the end of the day, like I said, he had the whole card being like the fight, no fights happening is not on him, because like I said, he had a stand-in, he had the cancellation of the card is on Jake Paul. He canceled this card because he wanted to get out of a situation, and like I said, maybe it wasn't selling so good. There's other issues we may not know about, because it's really funny to, like, what event could you cancel a week ahead of time and everybody's cool if it's sold out or something?
But Hasim Rahman Jr. is also fought as high as 260 something pounds. Is this also like a discipline problem with his weight? Because there's no way that he should be fighting at 265 and 266 and stuff like that. If you pull up his box rec, his weight has never been stable. And that's the thing, like, it hasn't ever been stable. So I think maybe Jake Paul, I don't know. I don't know where, like AJ said, wow, I don't know where it's Jake Paul's fault for pulling the whole card, but it's both of their faults for both trying to, like, outdo the other. Like, the other one knew there was no way in hell that I could probably do 200, because I haven't did 200 since I was 15. I fight at 220 something, 230, 260, 250, 260, 240, 250. You gotta check his box rec. It's wild. There's no stable weight.
So his weight and fight, it's not consistent. His weight and fights isn't consistent.
It's not.
Wow.
It's not. And
because with me, it's like, I honestly, Chan, to answer your question, I think, like, he can get down to the weight, but it's going to get to a point where, like, it's not done healthily. I mean, he can, but it won't be done health wise, because, like, me, because, like, I weighed, let me say, I'm currently walking around at like 183, but, like, when I was younger in my teens, my weight fluctuated between like 135 and 145. And if I could probably drop down to the beds, but it'll probably put my health at risk if I actually get down to that. So it's probably wise if I drop maybe 10, 20 pounds now. I mean, I can't go too light. Yeah, I can't go too light because So,
Wow. Kenny Ken, have you got any input on this? And Lisa Bales as well afterwards. Kenny Ken, have you got input on whose fault do you think it is? What do you make of all of this? Was it really going to be a fight happening? Because everyone's like, this is some smoke and mirrors shit. All everybody was doing was pretending there was going to be a fight. I don't know what to fucking think. I reached out to Hasim Senior, and no reply at the minute, because obviously I think he's just thinking what they're trying to do. But as soon as he hollers, I'll let you guys know. But go ahead, Kenny Ken.
I'm just saying the boxing deserves everything it gets regarding allowing people like Jake Paul into the business, the KSIs and all these people. I've got no sympathy for the sport. No sympathy whatsoever. You got what you expected. You let these idiots in because you wanted money in. You came up with this patronising bullshit about, it's great to get new fans into the stadium. Do me a favour, mate. Yeah, these new fans are going to be interested in seeing these idiots who sit in front of a camera and talk absolute garbage, or watch them. I mean, they get 10 million hits for making a cup of tea. The bloody pork chops, and yet because they make so much money, you're allowing into a sport where you've got men and women who live the sport. You've allowed people like Jake Paul, KSI, and all these other prats, pork chops, to take money out of hard-working fighters' mouths, and now you're upset about this. This was bound to happen. The minute it was happening. First, he was meant to fight Tommy Fury, another reality TV star, just happens to be a half brother of one of
another pork chop.
Yeah, half brother of Tyson. But even so, the minute that fight didn't happen, it was the Hasim Rahman fight was going to be a long shot, especially when you see the size of the guy. When you put in the weight clause, what do you expect? He was never going to make that weight.
I don't
of course,
watch it.
of course, he's going to lose ticket sales because the tickets were on sale for it to fight Tommy Fury, as were the TV rights. That's what TV and you know fans bought into. So they're not going to see Hassan Ratnam Jr. What's his claim? Oh yeah, by the way, his dad was a one fight world champion with one right hand, which took Lex Suicide and then lost a rematch. That's his claim to fame.
No
That's going to
disrespect will be had for my rock, Kenny Ken. I'm
not disrespecting him. I'm not disrespecting him. But what I'm trying to say
as well, but even before that,
I'm not disrespecting him. But I'm talking about ticket sales, which is Jake. Because the other day, promoters and Jake Paul are only interested in this. They're conning the public. But when you've got teeny boppers, reality TV idiots, and you know YouTube people who can't even who don't know the left hand from the right hand, of course they're going to buy into this rubbish. But then so I've got no sympathy for sport. When you've got people like Adam Smith down here, and then Eddie Hearn promoting a fight between was it Logan Paul and KSI, and Adam Smith was trying to keep a straight face. He looked embarrassed having to promote that. But that's what boxing deserves. You let these people in, this is what you're going to get.
Turns into a fucking circus.
It's a circus.
Clown business. Yeah, no, it does turn into some. Yeah, it does. Yeah, it goes wild.
No sympathy for the sport.
Yeah,
the sport.
He was like, oh, sorry, go again. My bad.
One sec.
Yeah, no problem.
Go ahead, Ken. Just finish up. Go ahead.
I finished. I'm just saying that you know the sport.
Yeah.
You know, no one comes out of this well. Hassan Ratman saw the dolly signs. You know, tried to make a weight that he was never going to make. Needed the money. Jake Paul thought, oh, let me get a proper boxer in so I could show Tommy Fury that I could box. Didn't work out. TV stations are involved in this monstrosity. Lost that. And that's what happens. People lose money because you allow unprofessional people in the sport.
Yep. Guys, my American compadres, you can call in using 917-268-9433, and my UK callers 07939530676, so we can take some calls and get your points of views and opinions. And we have Ohio Runs Boxing in the building.
Yeah.
What up, King?
Hey, how you doing?
Nice to see you again. This is your second time on the show. See, you've hardly been here. That's how I can count how many times you have been here. That's bad.
Yes. When I popped up, I noticed your face expression was priceless. You know, it was great seeing that. I definitely agree with what he was just saying. To an extent, though, I think Jake Paul. He has done some great things in boxing. I think other fighters capitalized off what he was doing. We have a guy named Montana Love out of Cleveland, Ohio, who signed for millions of dollars with Matchroom because of Jake Paul's pay-per-view. We have a lot of talent coming out of Ohio, and
I have a crush on him.
You silly.
I have a crush.
Me too.
we have a lot of talent to come from our state, and which was so crazy is that we have yet to have a guy fight on pay-per-view and come back home and put on a show. And it took Jake Paul, who's not even a fighter, to do that and put on a show for help feed the other fighters on the undercard. So he does a lot of things on the back scenes. Now the circus, I get it. I'm not really big on the circus fights. I think they're for the casuals, the people who really don't know the sport as much. But here's the thing. We also got to look at why the circuses came in. We don't get the fights we deserve. So if we don't get the fights we don't deserve, you're gonna be entertained by the circus. We should have got Kovalev versus Adonis Stevenson. We should have got Bo versus Lewis. We should have got Jamel Herring, no, not even Jamel Herring, her versus Jamel Charlo, them undefeated, AJ versus Wilder. I can go on and on about these fights. We don't even know if we're gonna get Earl Spence and Bud. But these fights should happen. And what is happening is they are opening up the door for other circuses to be entertained because we are not getting the fights we deserve. So I think it's a good job to expose what is going on when it comes to the sanctioning bodies and boxing, period, so people can actually see what is going on instead of playing stupid. You know what I mean? We got fighters now because of the circus saying they don't even care about the belt. Like, that's sad when we didn't got to a place where
The belts don't matter.
Yeah, it's about popularity. And here's my thing. I can understand that from an extent where they say the belts don't matter because the sanctioning bodies help prove that the belts don't matter by how they move. You come up with these franchise titles instead of making these guys fight each other. That's what y'all was here for. Y'all used to demand these guys to fight each other. Now y'all coming up with solutions to make money so they can maneuver around. So, we got to touch on everything. We can't just pick and choose here and there. The problem lies in the boxing, the hardcores, the sanctioning bodies, because they were the ones that used to give us the fights we wanted because they were strict. It was a little bit more strict, not perfect, but a little bit more strict. We got the fights we wanted, but now it's just, like I said, it's the circus. But so it's crazy. It really is crazy. As far as the Rockman, I definitely agree with him again. Like, I think most people that know the sport knew that he couldn't make the weight. I'm a matchmaker. I do help in the background in Ohio, so I do co-promoting and stuff. And one thing I don't like is unprofessionalism when you got fighters who purposely, now this is what I'm talking, purposely sign contracts knowing they can't make weight. So what they do is they prey on fighters who are inactive or guys who vulnerable, need fights, who haven't fought in a while. So what happens is if they're in the main event, all of a sudden I didn't make the weight on the day to weigh and I'm 15 pounds over. If the commission passed it, you gonna take the fight? Most of these guys still take the fight because they need the fight. They've been sitting on the shelf so long. So you have these type of strategies that these other fighters do that's lazy. And I see it all the time. And it's one of the most disrespectful things. I hate unprofessional fighters who go in trying to put the pressure on you to fight them. I ain't making weight, but you need a fight. I mean, that's the mindset they have. Adrian Broner did this a little bit too, where he used Adrian Granados the last week. He made the fight 147 when it was supposed to be 140, and he done that too. I call him out. It was like, wow. And what Adrian Granados is gonna do? Is he gonna turn the fight down when there's a week left or a couple days before the fight? They're gonna take it 9 times out of 10. So
Jake Paul doesn't need to take it, is it? Because he's rich.
Absolutely. So I think that's that. And then you made a good point. And I think that's what Rockman's team probably was alluding to too, where it's like, hey, we'll still fight. Hey, about the weight. And it was starting to get to the last minute. They thought they can probably put pressure on Jake. And Jake was like, hey, I can cancel it. Whoa.
Motherfucker. He was like, no, we ain't doing it. Do you think he always had the intent to fight?
It's both. I look at it both ways because I don't know if Jake had the intentions to fight either. Because that's what I said. The rehydration clause spoke volumes to me. It spoke volumes. Now we had a situation that happened in Columbus a couple months ago, and I actually posted about this yesterday and today. We had a fighter come in at cruiserweight. The Samuel Clarkson, he used to fight at 175, I believe. Yeah, Bivol beat him too, but he was going on a streak on Showtime. But he actually from Texas. He came to fight Alante Green at cruiserweight.
Right.
It was 199. That's where the fight was. Do you know he came 20 pounds over on the day of the weigh-in?
So he came in like 215, like.
Oh no, it was 20. It was like 21. But here's the thing.
Okay. So like
Right. So Alante was still in a vulnerable position. He's been out for a year or two, and he hasn't fought, and he's the main event. So here they go. So this is what the commission did. They say, hey, do you still want to fight? What we would do is just make it a heavyweight fight. So we would sanction it as a heavyweight fight now, but the guy is already 20 pounds, and Alante took it because he rehydrates back to heavyweight anyway. So he was like, well, I'm going to take it. because I rehydrate. But the point was, it was strategy for Samuel. See, that was his strategy. He came in with the purpose of not really making the weight anyway.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but they fought. He stopped him in the 4th round. He got him out of there. But it was just like, those are the type of things that happens in boxing that a lot of people don't talk about. So I think Jake didn't. But to answer your question, I don't think Jake had the intention to fight him, maybe. But I think it was vice versa. You can look at both ways too. Rockman thought he can still get the fight because he can pressure him into taking it,
Right.
weight. So both of them failed. Jake gonna have to fight real cruiserweights, especially if the WBC is saying that you're about to get ranked. Oh yeah, we can't play with it then.
But he's only going to get ranked. Lisa Bales, what's your opinion, sis, on this madness? Because I've been just, you know what? All I want is.
Colonel Jessup, did you order the code red?
You don't have to answer that question.
I'll answer the question. You want answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
Damn, that's all I want, man. Is the truth. What's the fuck's going on, Lisa, with this shit? What's your
I
opinion?
mean, I don't know. Like, I don't really follow Jake Paul. I never watch any of his fights.
Yeah, but you know the situation. You know what's happening.
I know the situation, but it's just a shit show to me. I don't partake in any of that circus stuff. I think it's like, what it looks like is they're trying to really, like, the media is really trashing Junior's name. That's what I'm seeing. And like, okay, the fight is canceled now, but to be in all fairness, I didn't think he was going to win, because I just felt like it was just a fight that he would just be overmatched. Like, Hassim is a heavyweight, and he's he has some experience. So you're in here with literally a person that has little experience and has never fought a real fighter. So I just think it's just I'm not with like that circus stuff, when it comes to boxing, because boxing is a very dangerous sport. I don't support that shit. I don't partake in it. And I mean, if he want to get with promoting, it seems like he's good with that. But far as I just think that that if he was gonna pull out, he was gonna pull out. This card has been like I feel like this is the most shine that Hassim Rahman Jr. has gotten. And then for it to turn out to this, it was just like crazy. But then it's just turned into a like a shit show, both going live or whatever, or one going live. It's just like crazy. But I just thought that.
Do you place anyone the blame or equal, or do you like, where's your opinion?
Both play a part. But like, I don't like
yeah,
I'm sure both play a part, as we know, but it was Jake's card, so I put kind of more of the onus on him. I feel like
I agree.
like Hassim Rahman is a person that's just, I feel like they just came in at a time where they saw Hassim just lose to McKenzie or whatever. And then all of a sudden he just came in. Like, they look for stuff like that. So, and I don't know. It's just like all of a sudden, because the not Tyson Fury, the Tommy Fury car got kind of like,
it's
and this is this is what happens. This is what happens when this is not real boxing. But see, now you got the blue faces. Now you got all these people. Boxing has nobody to blame but itself for this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of in agreement with Kenny. They have nobody to blame but themselves for this.
Mm-hmm.
Ken, have you
And
frozen?
people,
I know you are. You just sorry, I thought Ken.
Because Chan,
and
can I add
people
something
think
else?
they.
Oh, sorry, Lisa. Go ahead. My bad.
I'll just say this and shut up. And if people think they're just gonna come in with this sport, the same thing with McGregor. They sanctioned that as a 50th fight, and that was his first fight. Come on, this is ridiculous.
That was wrong. Yeah, that was wrong. Good point. Good
Yeah.
point.
Good point, sis. AJ Day.
Mhm.
What?
No, because because my a friend of mine who actually he kind of follows YouTube and stuff like that, and he alerted me to a like something that they do, something called social gloves, like with boxers and versus TikTokers, and I'm seeing that, and I'm like, for God's sakes, you know what, man? Like, have we really gotten to this? Like, I mean, it's really come to this stuff like that, and just like the classics say, it's all funny games till somebody gets hurt.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand how it was even commissioned at the end of the day, because Rock Jr.'s like 100 odd amateur fights. He's 12-1. Got beaten by Kenzie Morrison, son of late great Tommy Morrison, who was 20-0. Was he 20-0?
Yep. 20
He
over
20
18 KO.
20-0. Yeah, 20-0, 18 KOs. But I think what it was is that Jake Paul had called Rock Jr. to spar a couple years ago, and we saw some of that footage, and I think he thought he tried to put him at a detriment then as well, like, oh, you can only fight me with one hand, you can't turn southpaw, you can't do this. This guy, maybe this is just the best thing that this happens, that he just is exposed as a fraud, and we don't care anymore about him fighting. The tickets hopefully was low. No disrespect, because I would have liked to seen Hasim Rahman Jr. get the bag. But, sometimes all money isn't good money at the end of the day. Do you know what I mean? And sometimes it's like your integrity is priceless. Maybe Hasim Rahman Jr. could just go. He's got the profile built up now, and he can go ahead and do something else and fight, continue on his journey. And we can all just exit, because I can't stand the Jake Paul shit. I literally don't usually cover this punk. Like,
Well,
I don't.
I'll tell you this.
He's not real. He's not real boxing. That I don't really cover him. But obviously, it's the big news, and it's with a real boxer, so I had to cover it. But I hope he's just gone now, and he's fucked up Amanda Serrano's title defenses as well on that card. Yeah, it's just
I don't know why he signed to him. I don't know why she would sign to him, if I'm being honest. I mean, she I mean, we money, yeah. I mean, but now look what it's.
Payday. You want payday? I know that.
Come on, man.
Well, no, obviously the money, yeah. But it's just that but now it's like, look, your fight was canceled because of him. I mean, it's like you hopefully would still go ahead, but I mean.
It happens. I think it happens, though. I think signing to him wasn't a bad idea, in my opinion. I think it's he's already put her in the biggest fight of her career.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
I mean, it don't get no better than that. And she became a millionaire because of him. He put women boxing on the scene, which I believe Eddie should have did that. Eddie should have made that fight way before Jake came. To be honest,
he tried. He tried.
But I think he didn't want to put the money up like that.
Yeah, he didn't. He
He
wasn't behind it like that. But my thing is, I think he's good for. He has a good little promotional. But again, I think what we criticize Jake on, where he should be criticized on, is that you have to start being realistic when you're making these matches, because now it's starting to these cancellations, these last replacements. You got other fighters who looking to fight on your undercard, and it's getting canceled. And that's a lot of fighters that go through depression because of inactivity. It's a lot of stuff that plays into this, man. These guys, it's a big opportunity for them, and then you canceling and finding replacements. Enough is enough. If you're going to get ranked like the WBC said they was going to do, then guess what? You have to start matching yourself up with cruiserweights, probably in the top 40, but you have to start fighting cruiserweights. I don't think he should fight nobody in the top 10. Now, I'm going to tell you, most people who think he should fight the top 10 cruiserweights or some people who are emotional, who don't like him because he talks so much junk. I mean, and look, that's exposing to the boxing anyway, because if you can talk your way into getting big fights when you don't deserve it, then the fans are part of the problem because of their emotions. I don't like him, so he should get a title shot. He should fight Floyd. He should fight Eubanks. Really? Do you think Jake Paul deserve a fight with Chris Eubanks?
Oh,
really?
well, now, but Chris Clout chasing Eubank
No, I'm just saying. I
God.
know he's clout
That guy
chasing,
is
but
such
I'm
a
just saying,
fail.
even if it came down to a fight, I don't think Jake is worthy to fight a Chris Eubanks. That's all I'm saying. It's like he ain't did nothing to fight a Chris Eubanks.
Chris Eubanks did like Chris Eubanks straight away. He's like a vulture. As soon as like the lion dies, like outside, and get straight away leaping over, like to go and pick the meat off of the fucking carcass. Already straight away, you're supposed to be fighting. Talking about you're talking about fucking already jumping. Paul, get the fuck out of. I wish I had that. Get the fuck out. Do I have that clip? Guys, do I have that clip? No, do I have that clip?
Find it.
I don't think I have that clip loaded up. I need to get that clip, man.
That
But
is
yeah,
funny. That's
you need to get the fuck out of here, mate. Because you need to go and fight. You need to be calling out people like you need to call out Andrade. He needs a fight. Yeah, you need to maybe go up. Well, actually, you don't need to go up because Jamal Charlo's there. He need a fight. There's a try and fight Jaime Munguia. He needs to fight someone with the pulse too. Like, how about doing these types of fights and calling out these? You're fucking calling out Jake. Get the fuck out of Chris Eubanks Jr. If anybody knows, he gets on my last fucking nerve.
Hey,
Really
did you hear about not to change the subject, but did you hear about John Ryder and Jaime Munguia might be in negotiations with Eddie Hearn, might be putting that together?
Oh, that's a good fight.
Well, good luck to John Ryder because he's getting knocked the fuck out. So
in all fairness, I thought Danny Jacobs beat him. So
Danny Jacobs did beat him, but then got robbed against
Rosado.
No, not Danny Jacobs. Ryder got robbed against
Smith.
Oh, Calvin Smith.
And it was robbery for robbery. It was like, but he Danny Jacobs definitely won that fight. I scored it. Definitely Danny Jacobs beat him. Definitely 100. So it's all gonna he's gonna get knocked the fuck out from Jaime Munguia. He was supposed to get the Canelo fight, but Canelo got beat by Bivol, and Eddie wanted Ryder and Canelo for December in the UK as a for Canelo.
Never gonna happen.
No, it's
never.
I think Ryder was standing in. He was standing in for Ryder was going to stand in for Canelo in case Billy Joe Saunders pulled out. I remember right.
But then he would have him fight him properly in December here.
Yeah. Nobody ain't trying to see that.
You can't put it past boxing. You can't put that past boxing. If Berto can fight Floyd Mayweather in his last fight, I can see Canelo fighting a Ryder.
Yeah.
I know. How's everybody? Everybody's quite shy and nobody want to call in. The call-in number is you can call in if you're from the UK. I have the US. That's my US number. So you don't get charged. It's in 917-268-9433 or my UK guys 0793953066. Let's see if you've got an opinion or a point of view.
Sorry, LadyChann. You know when you talk about when they say Canelo fight anyone, well, you'll fight anyone with a belt. I think that, and Johnny, my Johnny from Islington, my part of the world, isn't that kind of attractive fighter? But I'm sure Eddie Hearn owes him a payday, like a retirement, his pension fight. You know what I mean? So he's made a lot of his fighters money, except for John Ryder. But let's face it, man. I just can't see John Ryder getting a big fight. I can't see it happening. He doesn't sell tickets. Doesn't even sell tickets here.
He don't. It's not. It's not. That's a bit. Yeah. That's
how many cards he headlined?
None.
Well, he hasn't headlined. Yeah, he headlined. Well, he headlined Jacobs fight
and the Smith fight. Was that a headliner or no?
And that was was the Smith a headliner one? That was.
It was a headliner, but for Callum Smith.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, but Chan, my closing thoughts on Jake Paul. If he gets knocked out, that's the end of his boxing career. He's going to stop after that.
That's why I want him to get knocked out. But now that he doesn't get knocked out, now it should just be the end of his boxing career. Everyone should just fucking laugh at him now and just realize that he isn't the guy he said he was. Maybe go and create your little YouTube boxing and over there and never let him bleed into the real world of boxing. Surely we've learned from this now. Like we already knew. We already
The
knew.
sport never learns its lesson. The sport never learns its lesson. You would have thought that the Armageddon was when Conor McGregor was fought Floyd Mayweather. I mean, some people in the UK, and I won't name them because for one, they have families, one, they have parents, but some people in the UK who don't know anything about boxing thought Conor McGregor was going to knock out Floyd Mayweather because he had this. He's a southpaw, his left hand, and I tried not to laugh because I thought if I laughed, not only would I have tears, but like the mucus would have come out my nose because it'd be so funny the rubbish.
Would have been one of them ones.
But like Bob Aaron's right about these MMA fighters, and I'm sorry if there's MMA fighters in there, they can't punch properly, and all the fighters MMA fighters, most of them are chinny. Because simple reason is they're not there to take punches, they're there to combat. To put their elbows in, punch people in the elbows, do a bit of wrestling all round. They're not boxers. So how Conor McGregor, how the public, my wife forced me to buy it, by the way. So I'm one of those guys who bought that rubbish and regretted it afterwards.
It was good for the time that it happened because it was new. But now we
no. I was ordered to buy it, and I was made to stay up and watch it because me and my wife are both boxing fans. I watched that fight against me will.
Oh, you didn't really want to watch it. I watched it and I loved it because I knew that Floyd Mayweather was going to beat the brakes off of.
Why didn't he knock him out though? He could have knocked him out. I'm sure there was like a post-fight agreement, something in writing that don't knock me out and don't break. Don't make sure you don't.
Didn't
the ref stopped it in the 10th round? It was a referee.
Yeah, he did knock him out. It was a stoppage. He was falling all over the place. He was getting
He gassed out after 5 rounds, 6 rounds. Yeah, he gassed out.
I think Floyd carried him. He took it easy on him.
Floyd took it easy on him.
No, what Floyd did, he gave him a few rounds. That's what Floyd does. All right, you go ahead. You think that you're winning.
You think after round 6, he picked it up and started taking it to him.
Round 6 onwards, he just picked him off and fucked him up. Yeah.
Yeah, Floyd just basically put a high guard and walked him down. It was
that's all he did. That's all he did.
It was competitive. You hear people like, "Oh, Conor McGregor landed an uppercut. That uppercut was nothing to him. He walked right through it. He didn't feel none of those punches, and then he just beat him up.
Simple.
I think Floyd was 39, 40 years old, beat him up. So it was good for the time because, like LadyChann said, that was the first time we've had an experience like that. And to be honest, Conor McGregor was a huge star at that time, and they sold the fight. And it was the typical Mayweather was trying to find an adversary that could get people pissed off and believe that he actually could win. But as real boxing fans, as usual, that watched Floyd Mayweather, that knew about Pacquiao, we knew he was going to win. But he, Conor McGregor sold himself. He started passing out his liquor. People started drinking it, feeling good, thinking he was going to win, but it just didn't happen. So it was entertaining. It was fun. The shit talking was immaculate. That to me, I can deal with that. Like I can deal with the whole presentation. The problem with Jake Paul, he's a YouTube guy. He's not even a boxer drawing somebody over into his fights. It's just stupid. So and we've had those matchups from time to time. James Toney going over to fight MMA. We knew that was going to be a massacre, but it's like,
oh god,
Conor McGregor was able to convince people that he actually had a chance against the greatest fighter in our generation, and people bought it. So it is what it is.
Yeah,
Ray Mercer did it.
Conor sold the fuck out of that thing. He really did, though.
Say that, Lise.
Didn't Ray Mercer beat an MMA fighter?
He did. Tim Sylvia, he knocked him out in the round. I remember that.
Yeah,
he did. Yep.
See that. I didn't see that.
It's not abnormal. Like we've seen these things. Ali with the WWE. Even didn't Floyd do something with the WWF or WWE?
Yeah, he had a stint there. Yeah, that's true. He wrestled the Big Show and that crap.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not abnormal. Yeah.
I think it's a little different with Jake Paul because he came into the sport and he got vicious knockouts to the point but to actually get those type of knockouts,
when you're cutting up, your
reception off the street.
Your reception, you're cutting up.
Can you hear me now?
It's out. Yeah.
Okay. Let me
Say
see.
that again.
Oh, sorry about that. Hold on.
Because it went
Can you hear me?
robotic. Yeah, can hear you now.
Oh man.
Yeah, we
Okay.
can hear you. Can
But
you hear us?
I was talking about his. Yeah, I was talking
Okay,
about his
go ahead.
knockouts. I said, that's you can't find a normal YouTuber, another guy that can come in the ring and get those type of knockouts. Jake can actually punch. Doesn't mean he's skillful, but the guy can actually punch.
He gasses out after like 2 rounds himself, though. His stamina is atrocious.
Yeah, you know his comparison. I hear some people say too, Jake, all he has is a punch, and which could be true, but we have amateurs with 200 amateur fights that come in the game and they are one-dimensional. We had Deontay Wilder. People talk about him just one right hand. Curtis Stevenson. You can take. He had one. He was one-dimensional. David Lemieux, one-dimensional. You have fighters.
No, but I'm just saying that. But but Jake Paul's gas tank is trash.
Oh no, yeah, I get that.
And none of those fighters had clauses in their contract where he can't get knocked out either. Yeah. So it's like the comparison. Let's put it like this: anybody that's that young that puts in some kind of effort at training. Jake Paul's he's not just showing up out of shape. He actually training. He goes to like legit gyms. Can bring up washed up MMA fighters who some he's bigger than. And like asking, like he's not a fight. Like I'm sorry, like we confuse everybody. That's MMA has all these different type of fighting skills. Mm-hmm. Boxing is a very particular skill set that those dudes cannot transition to. They're put like my man said, Ken, the punch resistance is terrible. Like we see McGregor knocking dudes out because they're not used to getting hit in the face. But you can have an MMA fighter come in against a regular boxer, hit him 30 times, and the dude would just walk right through it. Because they're built differently. So it's the comparison of him having power and all this. That's great. But we're talking about boxing, not the sideshow. He has not fought and knocked out any boxers. If he wants to go over to the UK, he could fight Michael Webster or somebody like that, that has a similar record that actually fought in fights. So that's the issue. Anybody can have power against dudes that these aren't boxers. So that power, him knocking them out, stopping them, it doesn't mean anything.
No, I get what you're saying, but you still got to talk about the impact of a punch. You saying it doesn't mean anything, but you still got to go out there and hit somebody. Now, like I said, the comparison with these other fighters, there were some guys who were just punchers in boxing, period. That's all they were. So every time they stepped up in top competition, it was hard for them to land that power shot because they were dealing with skillful guys. Now, if the skillful guy landed the punch, then it would be over. I'll give you a perfect example of what I'm talking about. John Molina versus Mickey Bay. Mickey was winning the whole fight, schooled him. All it took was one shot from John Molina, who was not skillful, than Mickey Bay. And what happened? That was a Floyd Mayweather fight. Floyd Mayweather.
Just phone call. Hello, caller. What's your name? Where you calling from?
You're right, Queen LadyChann. It's Benavidez from the UK.
Who's? Ben, you're gonna have to turn off you're echoing back. So whatever you're watching me on, turn it down.
I'm watching on TV.
Yeah,
sorry. Okay, yeah. I just wanted your thoughts. I just want to say you're looking amazing as always, Queen LadyChann. But yeah, I watched that Eddie Ernie done like his own sort of live video earlier. I don't know if you've seen it. He was talking about.
When he went live, I didn't watch it. Yeah, I forgot.
I was saying to Coach Mal that basically he was saying about John Ryder's in talks with fighting Jaime Munguia. Would you guys like Kenny Cannon, AJ, and Lisa Bowles? I don't know the other two on the panel. Would you be interested in seeing that fight?
Go ahead, Lisa.
Be interested in seeing what fight now? Sorry.
John Ryder versus Jaime Munguia.
No, right? I'm not interested.
No.
Go ahead, Ken. You interested? John Ryder versus Jaime Munguia.
I think it will get interesting. I think John would.
Are you interested? Are you interested?
I 100% I'd be interested in it because I would like John Ryder to get some sort of recognition, and get a bit of pennies to his name. But for me, I want to see. I personally think he's at domestic level, but it'd be nice to see if he can prove me wrong. I think it'd be nice to see if he can prove me wrong. I think and that's why I'll be interested in the fight to see how, you know, what if he can get to that level, because you never know in boxing. Strange things have happened. Or, you know, Cambosis Jr. versus you know, Lopez. That was strange. I never saw Cambosis Jr. beating Teofimo Lopez. Never saw it.
I've
Even
got the receipts for that. I won money and I've got the receipts for that. So.
Ohio runs boxing, King of Kings. AJ, would you guys want to see Jaime versus John Ryder?
Yeah, I don't mind it. Yeah, I don't mind it. Actually,
Yeah.
it's interesting.
I
John
don't-
Ryder's somewhat
I-
of a he's somewhat of a name at 168, and if Jaime could actually stop him, that'll make more of a statement, I believe. So I wouldn't mind seeing a fight.
Yeah, they're two names of familiar guys that we're getting used to. I like saying I just like the Danny Garcia and Jose Benavidez. Wasn't a big fight, but we seen
We're going
these
to move
guys.
on to that in a minute.
Yeah, we seen those guys. So it was familiar, and that's what I like watching familiar guys that I'm familiar with. So yeah, I
wouldn't mind to see that fight. Yeah, I wouldn't mind to see that fight either. Yeah, it's someone that's familiar, that it's got a pulse. I want to see Jaime knock him out, because I reckon Jaime would. And yeah, Ben. So we would all.
Can I ask you, sorry?
Lisa, she wouldn't want to see it.
Yeah, sorry, Queen, LadyChann. Can I ask you one point? Like you saying about, obviously, I said to Coach Mao like a few weeks ago, check out Ben Whittaker. He's going to be the next star, and he was talking about earlier as well. Your guys' thoughts? I just think this guy is going to be the next superstar. It's my personal opinion.
Yeah,
I love this guy.
I like him.
Love him or hate him. Some people hate him. I love it.
Watch him though, aren't we? So yeah.
Yeah.
But thanks a lot, Ben, for calling into the Shiggity Show. Massively
Take
appreciate
care,
it.
Queen LadyChann. Love you. You're gonna be my wifey soon anyway. So, Queen Lisa Bowles, Kenny Ken, AJ, the other two guys. Respect.
Take care, Ben. Take care.
Bye bye. Yeah, that was Ben Adams in the building. Thanks for calling in, Ben. Yeah, so I think we're off the Jake. Sorry, I got a frog in my throat. I think we're off the Jake Paul fraud show, and we can move it along on to Danny Garcia and Jose Benavidez. Who would like to start?
Go ahead. After you, bro.
Let me just let who I'm gonna pick to start, because look, you give men like any options and they're brain frazzled. So let's start with Ken. Ken, we didn't get to see the fight. Do you want to start this? So yeah, do you want AJ?
I'm going to be very brief, because again, I was very, very disappointed the fact that I didn't get to see the fight. But you know, one of the things that featured a lot, in the UK was just his interview afterwards, when he was talking about personal problem, depression. So for me, that is where that got caught my eye most. Very annoyed with British TV stations. The guy's a prize fighter.
Is it our fault? Why are we not buying the fights?
I think it is our fault. I think what's happening is that Sky Sports, they got a deal with ESPN. So
yeah, but Showtime is BBC.
Yeah, so we don't get access to those fights at all, and because so it's in a way it's a shame, and the other TV stations. Yeah, BT Sport, they're not very good as well. They're only interested in fat Warren, rightly so, I suppose. And you've got Channel 5 as well, did this disservice as well, because they're interested in Wasserman. So good fighters potentially good fights like that, we're missing out on, which is disappointing. But so I got to bow to our American friends, and just for them to give me the lowdown on what happened, because what we got here was the emotional interview afterwards. We didn't really get to the meat and bones of the fight, so I need some help here.
Yeah, let's start with AJ. And then we'll go King, Ohio, Sister Bells. Go ahead, AJ.
Well, don't feel bad, guys. You really didn't miss much. The fight was very uninspiring, uneventful. The whole card was pretty much it sucked for the most part. I wish I watched something else. All Benavidez did the whole time was his best I don't give a fuck impression, sticking his tongue out, shrugging his shoulders, putting his hands up, not just completely shit the bed. Danny did his thing, pretty much I pointed him or whatever else, but that's pretty much it. And I guess him crying at the end. I'm like, well, bro, it's not like you just beat somebody historic So like, save the tears for in the locker room, please. Not when you're not on cam. But I mean, but yeah, you didn't miss much. I mean, trust me, that's a fight I don't really want to see again, and I don't care to watch again. So that's pretty much all I got to say to sum it up.
Oh dear, that sounded really bad. Okay, King of King boxing.
Okay, so Danny Garcia, because he was moving up, kind of was able to box a little bit and use his speed. Here's the thing about Benavidez. Before that fight that he had in November, he was basically out. He ain't fought in 3 years after getting stopped by Crawford.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so he comes into the fight and he wants to fight like his brother, but I'm sorry that the gunshot to his knee, he's never going to amount to anything. He was just slow and plodding. He was, he had a lot of bravado. He threw some shots that caught Danny from time to time, but he can't cut off the ring. It was like a perfect. It's a Danny Garcia. Danny Garcia always has these fights where he's like either fighting somebody really good or somebody that's, why are we watching this fight? Yeah. So that's kind of a situation that happened here. Danny, I guess, had to get a win in the column. It was the easiest fight. He could have got it 154. And like I said, Benavidez fought one fight. He was 158. That was mainly because he was out of shape. And he didn't look good, man. He tried to move forward. Like I said, you could see it sucks because Benavidez, like, man, he's a wasted talent, man, because you could see it in him how good he would be, but he can't push off on his back leg. He can't generate no power. He just winging punches, trying to catch Danny. And the funny part is y'all ain't seen the fight, but it ain't gonna give it away. One of the judges had it a draw.
I know.
Yeah.
So,
I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, it was like, yo, what in the hell? But I guess that's how uninspiring the Garcia show was, man. He still can put butts in the seat. He still has a significant name. It's like he has a good following. But at 154, he gets smashed by everybody in the top 10. I don't know who he's going to fight next and have an actual chance of winning.
That was going to be a question.
Yeah, because here's the thing about it is his advantages in this fight was, like I said, he had a little more foot speed. He boxed a little bit, but if he goes to any of these other guys that are 6 feet tall and they hit him with a jab, and Tony Harrison was calling him out during the fight because Tony Harrison looks at him as food. So it is what it is. Y'all didn't miss much, but like I said, it was a good little scrap between two dudes that are going to be irrelevant at 154.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks. Yeah, Ohio runs boxing. What's your take on it?
I was actually impressed with Danny's boxing ability in this fight. It was kind of boring in a way, but no, I definitely I was impressed with his feet work. He actually boxed, and it was against Jose Benavidez. I get it, but when you move up to 154, you're gonna have to use your feet a lot. And Danny has a great chin. That's people don't give him credit for. I call him an iron chin. So I felt like it was pointless. It was a stupid strategy. Let me say that for Jose, looking like he was trying to look for a big shot the whole fight. Like he was not letting his hands go. He looked like he was just looking for a big shot. I thought that was crazy because Danny can take a shot, and you have to put them together with him. So I think the fight probably would have been different if Jose was able to let his hands go more. But he wasn't. And Danny, like I said, Danny bucks. He used the ring. So I don't know. I don't see every guy in the top 10 beating him. I think volume punchers can really offset Danny. Tony is not a volume puncher. Tony slows down. Tony always is going to be there to be hit. He'll win. He'll be up on the cards, and he's right there to get hit towards the end. That's been his blueprint. So but he has a lot of winnable fights, in my opinion, at 154.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, I don't
please name 2 fighters that you think he can beat at 154.
I just named Tony.
I said 2. Give me 2, bro.
Oh yeah. Tony, I have to look at the top 10 because it's a couple of them. But
I promise I can name you the top 10 right now, and none of them be beats.
Because I go by the styles. It's not just names. I'm real big on styles. I pay attention to those things. And volume punches, Castano will give him problems because of his volume punching. Jamel have problems. Will give him little problems too. Sebastian Fedor, he can take a shot, and he definitely is a volume puncher.
You looking at it on BoxRec? Yeah. That top 10 is fierce.
They all beat Danny.
Terrell Goucher, he has a Terrell Goucher up there.
He's the one that fought He fought the other day.
Tim Zoo.
Yeah,
Tim
Tim
Zoo.
He
Zoo.
fought him too.
Yeah, he
There's
may have a chance with him.
Jamonte Clarks. I don't know about too much, but those guys that sit there and give him different looks and not really putting pressure on Danny, he's going to be there. He's got great timing. So, you know, they respect his left hook, which is why Earl wasn't able to just get off on Danny like he wanted to, because you still respect that left hook that he has. So it's not going to be as easy. But no. Tony, she's like, Tony will beat beat Danny. Stop. No. Listen, it's just the truth. Tony will be leading just like Amir Khan, be up on the cards, and he fades down. That's the truth. We're not making up nothing. It's just what it is. Tony will be does that. We forget that.
Outbox fucking Danny Garcia.
Nah, I've been just saying he outboxes most people, and he slows down his feet right there. He gets right there.
Danny's slow as well. Danny ain't no sprinter now.
No, but
Danny's 34 years old. He's slowing down.
I'll take Liam Smith over Danny Garcia.
You said what?
I'll take Liam Smith over Danny Garcia.
Buffet, me too.
Buffet,
and he's moved up to 160, by the way, now. So.
I didn't know he moved up out the division.
Watch, he's gonna fight Eubank soon. That's the watch. I think that's
he may float back down. I know his next fight he's doing is at 160.
Eubank will beat Eubank. Annoyingly, Eubank will take him out. He's too big.
Eubank will take out Danny Garcia.
No, I'm talking about Liam Smith Jr. You know, Liam Smith.
If Eubank was able to fight at 154, I would even pick Eubank to beat Danny Garcia.
I didn't pick against Danny plenty of times, and I didn't learn my lesson not to pick against that guy. I picked Lucas Matisse to knock him out, and he beat him. I had Khan beating him, and he knocked him out. So he's definitely. Yeah,
but are you rooting for 140, Danny, or you was rooting?
No. I'm just saying. No.
147, Danny. 147, Danny didn't do shit.
He won the title. He has
Ohio question. Did you pick Danny in the fights he lost to 147 or no? Did you pick the other guys?
The ones that he lost, you talking about the Keith Thurman?
The Thurman, Porter, and the Spence fights.
I'm Ohio, so I definitely was gonna pick him. But I thought that fight would be closer. I didn't think Sean would be able to maul him like Sean does other fighters, because he was gonna respect his left hook. That fight was a lot closer, to be honest. I had it 7-5, but it wasn't no landslide. So Danny,
did you pick Danny to win or lose?
No. I picked Sean to beat him.
Okay.
Keith Thurman. Yeah. Keith Thurman. I picked Keith Thurman to beat him in a close fight. I picked Keith. Earl. I definitely picked Earl to beat him. Like I said, he stood there. I had Lamont Peterson. He has 2 fights that he did. He won that I felt like it was controversial. Mauricio Herrera.
Yep, that's one.
He lost that Peterson fight.
Yeah. And Lamont stepped up volume. Yeah. So he has some fights. He has some questionable fights too. But I
Jamie never fought Bud.
Oh man, nah, I don't think.
Yeah, that would have been good just to have a look at to see.
Bud would have been the first to stop him. That's what I think.
Comparison with EJ. That's all. Yeah, I don't know. Danny's chin is granite.
Yes.
If he fought Bud and Bud stopped him, then okay, yeah.
I want to see how it holds up at 54. I think King of King dropped off. He'll jump back on when he. You want to call in, Arlette? Yeah, here's the number to call in. Arlette. Here you go. Call in to New York. Number 917-264-9433. Yeah, and double 47939530676 from the UK. Go ahead. I just no, I don't. All right, Lisa Bales. Danny? You watched the fight. Watched it. Was it boring?
It was okay. I mean, it wasn't boring to me. It was an okay fight. It wasn't a classic, but I was interested to see what he would look like at 154. I felt like Jose Benavidez. Oh, you got your call. Go ahead, get your call on.
Is that R to the left? Is that you on left?
Yes, beautiful.
What up,
Arlette?
What's up?
Who is that? Hey, Lisa Bell. Who is that brain dead guy that was just talking about Daddy could beat most of will give a problem to anyone at 154. Who is that brain dead guy?
That's not what I said, but go ahead. That's not what I said.
Ohio run.
No, but anyway, I don't know. But first of all, Danny is very unproven at 154. You think Danny could just move up to 154 and beat Tony Harrison, a former champion, that gave Jamel problems? I mean, wait a minute. You spoke, so let me speak. You already ran your BS because you sound like a fanboy. You did.
Oh no!
I'm sorry, baby.
She's coming on smoke. Ohio.
Yeah, I'm letting her speak.
Yes, I'm because I don't like to hear fanboys. I don't like. You know what? That sounds like I was listening to this, and I'm like, who the hell is this? I was like, he obviously either Danny Dick Rider or either. It didn't even sound logical. He said give problems to German. Let me tell you this.
I did not say that. You wasn't listening to me.
Shut up. Everybody knows that Danny loses to any of the top 5.
Okay.
In that 154 division, and that's Castano, that's Jamel, that's Tony Harrison, that's Sebastian Ventura. Danny loses to Lubin. He loses to all of them.
No, he does not.
And I'm sure he even loses to that guy from Australia, too. Tim Zoo. I'm sure he loses to him, too. I'm just saying. I mean...
I'm with you. I don't think Danny beats none of those.
I just don't... I don't even understand. And he's making it seem like Danny's so great. Danny's footwork is trash. He's slow. I mean, come on.
I'm with you. He's slow, like molasses. He's got his hands is slow.
We call him here in New York Danny Garcia because he lost fights that he won. And to be honest with you, people want to talk stuff about Amir Khan, but Amir Khan was giving Danny the work. He was giving him the work until he got caught. He was giving him the work. So, I mean, anyway. So, if you want to keep on catching Danny, making it seem like he's so great and a future Hall of Famer, then go ahead and say that. But don't say that he's better than anybody in the top 10. Everybody in the top 10 at 154 beats him. Every single one of them. And probably might stop him, too. Bye.
Thank you, Arlette. Love you too, Queen. Thank you for calling in, Arlette. Thank you.
Bye, Lisa.
I can rebuttal on that real quick.
Arlette always comes on smoke. She don't hold back her shots.
No. It's fine. It's fine. She don't know me, so it's not. I didn't take anything personal. I'm from Ohio, so my name is Ohio Runs Boxing. Danny is from Philadelphia. Doesn't ride with him because I like him. I look at styles. I ride with Ohio fighters: Sean Porter, Robert Easter, Adrian Broner, Rasheed Warren, Buster Douglas, Kelly Pavlik, Aaron Pryor. Those are Ohio guys that I ride with. So I got a bias from my state. That's why I call Ohio Runs Boxing. Now, you entitled to your opinion just like mine. You actually said Tony Harrison. You picked and choose some of his performances, which is okay. But again, you also said that Danny was losing to Amir Khan. We could say the same thing about Amir Khan. He was winning a lot of his fights, but he just couldn't hold up with his chin. A loss is a loss. Willie Nelson knocked out Tony Harrison. He was up. Jerry Hurd knocked out Tony Harrison. He was up. Charlo knocked out Harrison. He was up. So why is it crazy for me to think that Danny can't land a left hook on Tony Harrison, who will probably be up on the cards? I'm only going by what I see. This is not just speaking from a fanboy perspective. So you're talking to somebody who knows the sport, not somebody who's speaking off my emotions. And I appreciate the smoke, but I'm not a guy who rides certain fighters like that. I just think Danny does have winnable fights that he can win in the top 10, depending Here's the word. Depending on who he's facing. That's all I have to say.
Do you think Danny's a future Hall of Famer?
The way that the criteria is for the Hall of Famer, absolutely. We got a guy, Rocky, that's in the Hall of Fame, and all he did was make a movie. So we gotta let's come on. We can get Broner is probably gonna get in. I mean, we can't help it. Mickey Ward and they got in. I mean, we can go on and on. It's like, no, I'm just saying that we can go on and on because certain fans voters that voted some of these fighters in, they give them reward them for wars, having a trilogy. That's probably it. So the criteria, the Hall of Fame boxing criteria doesn't really have a legit one that you go by and say, okay, he won this and this and this and he gets in. They don't. It's just all over the place. So I wouldn't be surprised if Danny, a two-time champion, would get in with some of the guys he didn't beat. But I just can't look past that because it's guys getting in there. I think Sean probably gonna be in there, Sean Porter. So, but
Arlette said you said. Arlette said you sound
no, it's okay. It's okay. So I take that. But
if Danny don't got power at 147, you tell me how the heck he's got how the heck he got power up to 154. I'm not with Danny being I don't think he's a future Hall of Famer. I don't think he beats anyone in the top 10. Just about maybe even in the top 15, he's going to struggle. I don't see Danny being a champion at 154. He's done nothing at 147. He always, not much. But I mean, okay, I respected what he has done at 140 and so two division world champ. Cool, got you. You may think that automatically gives you the criteria to get into the Hall of Fame, but you know what, Danny's resume is very, very good. He's got a very good resume, but I don't know, I just don't think he's a Hall of Famer. I think he's
I don't either. I just think the criteria for the Hall of Fame,
we don't know what the criteria is though.
Yeah, I don't. I can if I knew it, I'll definitely tell you. I don't know the criteria. Yeah, so many. I just said Rocky is in the Hall of Fame. I mean, can we explain that?
Yeah, I know. We can't explain that.
That's absolutely ridiculous. Like, I mean, seriously.
That's just fucking dumb.
And he got a statue before Frazier in Philadelphia.
Come on,
explain that.
Like,
yeah.
I don't think he's a Hall of Famer. I don't think he's one.
Who do you think he beats anybody in the top 10, AJ? And Lisa? And Kenny as well before.
Sorry.
Let me go to Kenny first. Sorry, go ahead, Ken.
Yeah, in terms of I don't know. I think his time's passed him by. That few years back, there's potential, but I think over the years, against the better fighters, he hasn't been able to make that kind of transition. For me, I've always rated him as a good fighter because everyone talks about Amir Khan was taking him to school, but the fact is that it's a 12-round fight, man. There's more than one way to win a fight. He knocked him out. Yes, he was behind the cards, but at the end of the day, you've got to take the fighter out, and he didn't. Amir Khan didn't take out Danny Garcia. Danny Garcia found that left hook and took him out. Like I said, he's a former world champion. But for me, I just think he's at the sort of Indian summer of his career at the moment.
Mm-hmm. That could be the case.
Yeah. Go ahead, AJ, sis.
Me, I think that let me see. I'm in agreement with Ohio. I think he could possibly beat Tony Harrison because he can box, but he does fight and he doesn't have a good chin.
Guys, hang on. Can the moderators get rid of this spamming in the chat, please? When I see you moderate everywhere else, you get rid of the spammers. Why are you letting these spammers be circulating in my chat? Get rid of them. Why have you got wrenches for? I'm going to do a wrench review and start taking away people's wrenches if they're not using them for what they're supposed to be. So some people may not have a wrench by the time they come back on my next show. Go ahead, AJ.
For sure. So,
this is the second time that this spam's come round, and you just let it happen. Go ahead.
For sure, yeah. It's just that, like, I think I'm in agreement with her. I think like he could possibly beat Tony Harrison if he lands, because Tony's never had a good chin. That's just what sticks out to me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he can get hit with a big shot. He can just crumble and go down and just be taken out. So he's gonna have to really just be on point for 12. So I get at 50-50 for the most part. and the other person I think he could beat. Lara's at they still have Lara ranked at 154. I think if Lara went back down, that's another fighter he could beat because I just don't think Lara was what he was once.
Yeah, he can't beat Lara, and Lara ain't coming back down. Why are you going to ask a 40-year-old to come back down after he's just gone up, and you want a 40-year-old?
And he's calling out He's calling out Thurman 2 in a rematch. It's like nobody wants to see that shit. Like what the hell? I mean,
full of shit. This is what he is. He's full of shit.
I mean, like I don't even see him becoming. I mean, honestly, like I don't see him becoming a champion at this weight unless the belt is vacant. If I'm being honest.
And it depends who he's fighting for the vacant.
Yeah, depends who it is. Yeah, so that's the only way he picks up a belt at 154. He doesn't beat any. He doesn't beat Jamel. That's not happening. I think Jamel will knock him out personally. So
that's a stoppage. Yeah. He's first. That will be probably his first. Somehow, yeah. He got a chin. That's all I can say. That's all I can say. He's got a chin. But other than that, he hasn't performed. He hasn't performed at the best for a long time. And he's been. Let's get to the crying. Yeah, you're acting like you just beat Bud Crawford, fam. You know, you've acted like you just that's what you've just done. Like he acted like he had just fought Terrence Bud Crawford and beat him. Like
the one guy you didn't fight at 147.
You just fucking beat. You know, like definitely now we can see he's totally shot, and you should have stopped him. Even Bud stopped him in the 12th round. You know, at 147. Danny with this so-called hard hitting. Where was it? The guy was definitely one-legged. Hasn't fought since Bud. Been inactive for what 3-4 years. Danny been inactive since Spence, and you couldn't knock him out. You couldn't stop him. Nah. Danny's done. Danny is done. Danny, you either just be a gatekeeper or you just take Jose with you and bow out. Both of you lot get the fuck out of here.
Chan, you know Jose rehydrated to on the night of the fight?
Probably not. I thought he was going to rehydrate to light heavyweight, but I heard
he did. He was 171.
Oh, see, I was right. People was like, "Oh no, he's really small." Even though I was like, "Dude, that him and his brother have been weight bullies. They've been weight bullies. Like him being at 140 was like that was mad. That was crazy." So I knew in this fight, yeah, I said I bet you he rehydrates to about 175 to a light heavyweight. People was like, "No, he won't, because he's naturally, even though he's big, he's still a small guy." And I'm just like, no. So thank you for clarifying that for me, AJ. We've got UGC Flame. Where was you, UGC? Hang on, just said something. The pin of the is in the chat, by the way. I've pinned the invite in the chat if you want to come on panel. Is where's UG? There you are. Ohio, they're coming with you for the smoke. Did I hear someone say Danny is a Hall of Famer? Bruh, jump off panel immediately.
I don't think I said Danny was a Hall of Famer. I said, let me correct it. I said correct. The way the criteria of the Hall of Fame, I don't know how y'all mixing my words up. The way the Hall of Fame is set up, we don't have no criteria, everybody getting in. I wouldn't be surprised if he get in the Hall of Fame. Come on, man, pay attention.
Yeah. Phew. I can breathe better now.
You did say you don't think he is one, right? So
no, I don't.
Yeah.
No, you don't think he is one. No, he don't think. My bad. No, he doesn't think he is one. No, not. But I've heard people have legit panel arguments saying Danny is legit. And I know disrespect, it's the aerosexuals that they say Danny Garcia is the Wildettes Luis Ortiz.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yep.
He's like, we all know he ain't fought nobody. Well, Danny Garcia has, but he's not that guy. So they tried to make the aerosexuals tried to make Danny Garcia look like the best thing since sliced bread because it makes the Errol Spence win look like. Yay.
Oh, they do that. Yeah, that's politics. Yeah. They do that all the time.
Like, no.
They would talk down about the fighter, And as soon as he fight your fighter and you beat him, then you praise him. They did it with Mikey Garcia. Oh, he's too small. Earl gonna stop him, and then when Earl go the distance, he win. Then they say, "Oh, but Mikey is a 3-division champion. Mikey this and Mike." I'm like, "Oh, now y'all trying to go."
They've been
Now
moving
y'all
the
using
goalposts. Yeah, they moved them goalposts like a motherfucker,
all the
man.
time.
They
They
always
do
been
it.
moving
Yep.
them goalposts. It's just like, oh man, I'm just so bored of it. So I don't know where Danny. Who's his next? Well, I wonder when his next fight will be in 2024.
Yeah, that's my guess. That's my guess. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, so
Yeah.
Around 2024, I reckon. You know, he's just inactive.
I think he's gonna go the Thurman route. I think Thurman and him probably go. I don't want to see a rematch of that, but again, Danny don't want to. He ain't gonna want to fight if he don't get a Charlo fight. He has no choice. He want a big fight.
Yeah.
Laura or Thurman. Thurman is definitely in a situation where he don't know where to go. I mean, you gonna fight Enos?
Well, he's WBC #1 Mando for Earl, so
who
I don't think
Keith, he's #1 in the WBC.
Yeah, I don't think Keith will risk that place fighting Danny Garcia when he's got mandatory for Errol.
They did that for a reason. I don't think that's a coincidence.
It's all dumb. Yeah, it's all dumb. It's that's just all dumb. Sis, who do you see Danny fighting next, or who would you like to see him fight next?
Interesting. I would say either.
Are you in front of something that's blowing? Just while you say this comment, can you just come out of the way of this dumb thing that's blowing?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I think maybe what's the guy's name? Tony Harrison, maybe. Or Keith Thurman answered the call out. I saw that earlier.
Did he? What did he say?
He said, well, he would take it. But then he also said he would fight Jake Paul also. So I don't know what Keith is on.
Really?
Right
oh my God.
Yeah, I saw that. It's on Fight Hub.
I did not see that.
Yeah.
Birds.
They thirsty, yeah.
They are like some thirsty women. They're birds, mate.
Yeah. Keep just talking crap. Yeah, as usual. Because that's what he do.
I'm embarrassed.
Or possibly Laura too. That would be a good fight.
Laura's not. He moved up because he couldn't make 154 anymore. And Danny's talking about I'll fight him at 155 for the middleweight title. Just shut up as well.
Give him 2 pounds more. I say 57.
Well, wasn't they talking about Keith fighting Laura at one point?
Yeah, he was calling him out too. Yeah, Thurman called him out too.
For catch weight, yeah.
Was it for catch weight? Get out of here.
Yeah, it was a catch weight.
Yeah, just go away. Like, just fight people that's in your weight class because you can't beat them. That's right.
I purposely think Laura actually fought in a standstill, like inside the pocket, just so he can get one of those fights and not actually box yet. I think because if some people say he's losing his legs, but I think he's using strategy. I still could think he got a little bit of legs left behind him, and he's waiting for a Thurman or a Danny or whoever, man. So that's gonna be interesting.
Danny schools Jamel Loke. What?
What?
Sorry. LOC. No.
He must be trolling. He must be trolling.
I think he does say some outlandish things sometimes at times. Knowledge is key. Knowledge is key out here, Loke. Sorry, you got to have a bit of knowledge before you just spit these types of outlandish statements out here. I don't know, because that is crazy. I don't know about. Sorry, I just don't agree. Like, yeah, I think. Please tell me that you was just pretending and you just wanted to fucking say that as a troll. No, yay.
Suwab
in the building. Yo, LadyChann, AJ, Kenny, Ken, Lisa, how you family? We are in the building. We're good.
Hey everybody, Suwab. UGC Flame, everybody.
UGC Flame. Yeah, Suwab. We're just here, just quickly chopping it up. LOC wants to troll. Yeah, I'm like getting ready. Who else was there on the docket? Was that the last thing on the docket?
I got something interesting we can talk about right quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
As we all know, the for the vacant WBC title on 40, Prograis versus Zepeda was just ordered. What's everybody's thoughts?
I'm actually happy.
That's a good fight.
Because go ahead, Ohio.
I'm actually happy because Top Rank actually got in power in that position where they had two top ranked fighters fighting for that belt. So no matter who won, they was going to be in the position to get, be in the position to make a fight across the street, who was ever the mandatory, and they would have a rematch clause. That was the whole purpose. And I think Top Rank was pissed that Ramirez got out of that fight, because now you let another party comes in. We was just about to have an in-house fight with Top Rank versus Top Rank. So the belt was coming to us regardless of who won. And when you get Regis to come in to spoil the party, now you don't have that leverage. So, you ain't no rematch clause with this mandatory. So I think that's what Top Rank didn't like. So, but Ramirez, he felt like that was important for him. So, hey, that's what he's going to do. And it's funny that the boxing guys have been working like this, because Devin Haney has got fights because of certain things outside of boxing happening to other fighters. Go and JoJo, Ryan Garcia hurt his hand. That's how he got the JoJo fight. These things has to happen, seem like, for these guys to actually get fight. Regis has been getting avoided. So I'm happy that Jose felt like marriage is more important than fighting. Thank you so much, man. So, hey, I want to give him a hug.
Now we get this firecracker of a fight that I've been wanting to see for like quite a while. I actually proposed this matchup on Twitter like a few months back, and it actually come to life. It looks like so.
Yeah. So it's Regis. Yeah, because Regis was just complaining about, because he's ranked number 6 and not getting a fight, and people overlooking him. This is going to be a good fight. I really have to let me do my homework, because I know Regis Prograis is that fucking guy. And
Regis about that life, man.
Jose is that guy. Let me just here, Ken. I want you to give them your social media handle, because I do know that you have to leave the building. So let them know where they can find you, Ken.
Hi guys. Just before I go, I agree with you on Regis Prograis. I thought he was very unlucky when he fought Josh Taylor. A few years ago. I had him winning that fight, by the way, but I'm not a judge anyway. But my social media handles on Twitter and Instagram is at KennyKen1972. So again, it's an honor. I want to say before I go as well, this Sunday I'm going to be in the NEC Stadium in Birmingham watching the Commonwealth's Games boxing. So if I see anyone of any repute, I'll let you guys know.
Yes. And Ken, if you see anyone that we can have on the show as well, give them the details, and we can probably get them on the show.
I'll always do it. I'll always do my best, but I'm not a VIP like quite a few people. So I don't think any boxers have heard of me.
But you just say I'm on a boxing.
But I know you
channel.
though, anyway. So of course I'm going to mention your name. I know you,
and you're on the channel, so just to just put in a good word, and then maybe they will come. Thank you, Kenny, Ken. Thank you, guys. You can find Kenny Ken where he said in the building. Ken, I'll speak to you later.
Take care, Kenny.
Bye.
Take care, Kenny Ken.
See you, Lisa. See you, AJ.
Bye-bye.
Ohio, nice to meet you. See you soon. Bye.
Have a good night.
Salute to you, Kenny Ken in the building. Why is it just me? Okay, there you go. UGC Flame is on the panel. What up, UGC? You caught us on the last round. What would you like to say, UG? What's happening, Black? Talk to me.
I agree.
Yeah, Black always has so much to say. He can't even stop him talking. Look.
What's going on?
Yeah.
Oh man, the earbuds is out. All right. What's going on, y'all? I know y'all closing down. I just want to say hi. Shout out to the CHANN gang. That's it. Came through to say what up.
Oh, what up, UG? Thank you for coming. As usual, when you ever come on, it's a privilege and an honor anyway for you to come through like the mile. Have you got anything? Yeah. There's Ohio did clear it up. He did clear it up. Danny isn't. He doesn't think Danny's a Hall of Famer. So no, he doesn't think that. So he did clear that up. I know you don't think Danny's a Hall of Famer, What did you think of that Danny Garcia fight anyway?
Danny did look pretty good in his first fight at 54, but he wasn't fighting a legit 54 pounder. We all know that. So, based on what he had in front of him, he did what he had to do. I didn't like who he called out at the end of the fight. You know, he called out old no hairline Chief Keef, and then he wanted to call out the most inactive Cuban in boxing, Erislan Delora. So, you know, and then to call him out at 155, so he wants Laura to drain himself down to 55 for Danny. And Danny, you know, he's the king of the Barclays. I think he got the most fights, most headlines at the Barclays. So he's gonna ride off that wave. You know, he gonna consider himself the A side. Come to the Barclay and fight Danny. So that's how Danny do.
I'm done with Danny. I need to do a done list where I'm done with these boxes. I'm done with Jose Benavidez. I'm done with Chris Eubanks Jr. I'm done with Andy Ruiz. I'm done with Danny Garcia. Who else am I done with? Who else? Let me make that.
Tell us how you really feel.
Yeah.
Keith Thurman.
My done
I look
list.
forward to that list.
Okay, my done list. So let me just say. So Danny Garcia's on my done list. Danny G. Jose Benavidez.
Keith Thurman.
Am I done with Keith Thurman? I'm not.
I'm done with him.
I don't know. I don't know if I'm done. I'm semi done with him. He's not just. Let me see his next move,
All
and
right,
then I'll see if I'm done with him. But,
Ruiz.
Ruiz, I'm done with him. Chris Eubanks Jr. I'm done with him. Oh yeah, I'll tell you who else I'm done with, and he's only just started. I'm done with Harlem Eubank, which is Chris Eubanks Jr.'s brother. From what I saw.
What? By the way, Chan, what happened? Wait, he won his last fight by DQ. Can you explain what happened?
Okay, so the guy that he was fighting
Yeah.
was basically beating the brakes off of him, and because the referee decided to be so far away before saying break, and the guy doesn't speak English, but the guy can't hear you. On top of it, so he hit Harlem with 3 punches after the break, and he basically knocked Harlem out. Like fell, his legs stiffened and he fell back like that.
Oh shit!
And
I gotta try to find that.
Head on the ropes, and they had to give him 5 minutes to feel better. And once that happened, the ref said, if you do that again, you must listen to me. If you do that again, and the guy was like, yeah, I don't hear you. Plus, it was quite loud. So the ref said, if you do that again, I'm going to DQ you. And he was like, yeah.
He did it again.
Few rounds in, and this one was so light, he tapped him just after the break. But the ref isn't even getting in the middle going break. The ref is mad far saying break. Mad far saying break. And the guy doesn't speak no English. So he didn't, you can't hear it. DQ. Harlem was getting the breaks. He was on his he was doing a rigando.
How about Demetrius Andrade? You like Demetrius?
Yeah, I like. I'm not done with him though. No, I'm not done with him. No, I'm not done. I'm not done with him. I'm done. Yeah, Mal. I'm done with AB. I'm done.
Well, Chan, let me ask you this: If Demetrius vacates, it doesn't fight Yanni Becky. You done? You done? Okay.
Then I'm done. Yeah, then I'm done. Yeah. So Harlem.
He called out Eubanks.
Yeah, I'm done. I'm done. Who else am I done with?
The done them list. I like this.
Yeah, the done them list. That's the list that we've got so far, and I'm sure we shall be adding to it.
Oh, it's gonna grow. It's gonna grow
in the foreseeable future. I'm kind of done. Who else? There was someone else that I'm so done with Adam Kawanaki. I'm done.
Oh yeah. Yep. Oh yeah, he need to be on that list. Yeah.
You want to quickly touch on what happened on that fight? Well, to wrap with that up, we can. Because I didn't see the fight. You guys tell me what happened, because I was listening to commentary on it.
Right. More or less, Adam got his ass beat for the most of the fight. He was a punching bag for the most part. Looked gassed, looked out of it. Looked like his eye got swollen. I don't know if his orbital got broke again. But yeah, he lost on points. He lost to White UD to Ali Demirezin.
I picked Ali to win.
Did you really?
Yep. I was so glad. I picked him.
Wow, man, good call on that. I should have too. After that, it's like I shouldn't have trusted him. It's like Hellenius fucked him up. He ruined him. Hellenius ruined him.
Yeah,
He really did,
Hellenius,
yeah.
Nordic Nightmare, demolished him. But go ahead. So he just got the break. So he got the brakes beat off of
That's
him,
it.
did he?
That's all. From rounds like 2, like well, he had his moments early on, but he just faded at the latter half and just got pieced up. And that was it. That was all. And it's like no snap on his punches. He drained, like he looked skinnier.
Yeah.
No snap, no power anymore. Just nothing. And like he was just honestly, he needs to think about continuing his career at this point because I just don't. What does he do next now? You know.
I agree. I don't even have to follow on that. You said everything I would have said. Like it was crazy just to see that. Like he's pretty much.
Yeah, it was sad.
It really was. It was sad.
It's sad unless he could come back and make some type of adjustments. Look, I'm not for I want to see the man be able to feed his family, but not at the expense of him being damaged, like brain damage. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
That loss.
The bright side of it, that we got a new heavyweight we was looking at. So he won. I think the guy from Turkey, I forgot his name, but just I don't know. Something familiar. We see what they're gonna do with him, just like Johnny Rice, winning a big fight. Not too long. So
What was Johnny Rice fighting again?
That's a good question. I know.
I like Johnny Rice. I actually like him.
Me too.
Is he the one that fought Michael Coffey? Who was the one that got upset in that fight?
That was him.
Who won?
Yeah. He beat him twice. Yeah, Johnny
Who's
Rice.
the one that fought Wilder? I mean, that sparred with Wilder. It's supposed to be the best thing since sliced bread. Was that Michael Coffey?
That was him. I think that was him.
Yep, Michael.
Yeah, I'm done with him. He's on the list. He's done.
Oh, is Ryan Garcia on the done list?
Not yet. No.
Not yet. Okay, all right.
I'm not done. He's not. No, I'm not done. I'm done in certain angles, but I'm not done. He's got potential. Let me just see where this goes. But he's teetering on on the border. He'll be nearly done. But I'm with Ali. I'm done. No, I'm not done with him yet.
Okay.
I'm done with Ricky Hatton's son too. Campbell Hatton. Yeah.
He need to go on the list on general principle.
Yeah. Campbell Hatton. Yeah, I'm done with him.
What about Ugas?
I am done with Deontay Wilder. Yeah, I'm done with him.
What about Ugas?
No, I'm not done with Ugas.
Okay.
Deontay Wilder, I'm done with. Yeah, I'm done. Like,
Gamboa?
he can only redeem if he comes out and fights someone that's top 10, then I'll be like, Wilder, I'm not done. But Gamboa, I'm done. Yeah. Thank you, higher on. Yeah. Gamboa, I am done with you, mate. I'm done.
Javier Fortuna. Fortuna. He just lost the Ryan. I think he's done. I like the end of his career, but he's pretty much ain't got it no more, man, in my opinion.
Yeah, you're right. Sorry, I had to just replay. Yeah. It's out. Yeah. Javier, yeah. You ain't got it. You don't got it, son.
Mm-hmm.
I tell you who else is out. Oh my God. Oh, its name's just evaded me. He was the fucking guy, and then all of a sudden he just keeps getting stopped.
Well,
who's he talking about? That's a good one.
Is it Berchelt?
Nope. You talking about Dog Bay? Dog Bay?
No, Dog Bay. No, not Berchelt.
He just
the
won.
one that he just won. The one that just got fucking fucked up this fight and the last fight. Oh my God, guys! Oh my God, hang on.
What?
He is.
Did he fight
his
recently?
ethnicity is either Latino, Latino, or is he Hispanic? And he got. Yeah, he don't got it.
It's probably Berchelt. It's Berchelt. It might be Berchelt.
And his punch resistance is done.
Yeah. Oscar Valdez.
Are you talking about Gabe Flores?
No, I'm talking about Berchelt. It is Berchelt, isn't it?
Berchelt. Okay, yeah.
Oh, Berchelt, yeah.
He got pieced up and stopped by Naki
Flores
Daly in
was
like
a good
6 rounds.
Flores was a good guess, though. Flores was a great guess because he's lost a couple fights now.
Berchelt, Gabe Flores.
What about Joe Smith?
Joe Smith? Oh no. He's not. No, he's not on my done them list. He just only lost the other day to
Arthur
Beterbiev. No, you can't say he's no. It's not you. No,
he might be after that, but Beterbiev be giving life-changing ass whoopings. So
no, but when I say done, like it doesn't mean like that. It just means it could be in all different aspects. Like
Oh,
you know,
God, I see what you
Danny
mean.
Garcia can still fight maybe and win and beat someone, but I'm still done with him because I just don't think he's
Okay, I got you. Okay, yeah, I see what
he's
you mean
done.
now.
And then some of them are done where they just got nothing left, so you may as well just be done.
How about
AB,
Tyson Fury? Put him on the list.
I'm done with him in certain angles, but he made you undisputed, so we have to wait.
Yeah.
But
Okay,
in other levels, I am done with him. I'm over him. But I'm not-
Dezora, that's his name,
No,
right?
Chisora, no, I'm not done with him. I'm not yet. Chisora puts butts in seats, mate. He
does.
puts
He still
butts in
sells.
seats, just coming off a win, and he sells, mate. And he still sells.
Dillian White.
No, I'm not done with Dillian White.
Okay.
No, I'm not done with Dillian White. You know who's gonna be lucky that I'm gonna be done with if they don't start fucking pulling their socks off? I'll be done with Teofimo Lopez if he doesn't watch it because he's just craziness is getting on my nerves. Like, fix your head, son. Yeah, you and Ryan Garcia go to the counselors, both of you lot, and you're gonna have to take Danny Garcia with you. And maybe you can get a 30% discount, 10% each, if you all pick the same fucking counselor. Because you're all just fucking using mental health as why you can't really aspire in this world of boxing. And if you're not mentally strong, unfortunately, it's a mentally strong game. And you all just need to bow out.
And I take issue with that because there's a lot of people who are going through mental illness.
They just use it as as the crutch. Like, oh no, I got depression and I got anxiety and I got this and that and this and that. Okay,
it becomes a trend. They just say it to say it.
But could I say something? I could relate to Danny the other night, and I'll say this because I think what I saw, what he was doing, it looked like he was just overwhelmed with everything. And some people think that you could have a debate. Oh God, I said that wrong. You could have a bout with depression and anxiety, but it doesn't mean you have clinical depression and anxiety. It's not abnormal. So if you're going through a series of losses, and he just said life, he said everything. He said raising a child. I think maybe the moment and him winning, it happens because it has happened to me. So it has happened. I have just burst out crying, and it seemed like inappropriate moments or whatever. And so it can happen. Like some people were saying, oh, mental illness. I never heard him say that. I mean, I don't know everything about him or what he had went through, but that doesn't, just because you go through depression or anxiety does not mean it's clinical. That's a different ball game.
So why do we got to hear about it? So why do we got? If it's clinical, then talk about it. You had a bout of it, and so we have to hear about it.
But but he's human though. He's human. Anybody could do that.
Yeah, this is boxing. No, I don't care.
Well, I disagree. Because it has happened to me.
We don't need to see you crying. But you're not a boxer.
Yeah, but he's still human, regardless of being a boxer. I'm saying it can happen to anybody. He's not the first boxer I saw cry in front of a bunch of people.
Yeah, me either.
It happens.
You know what? But when the boxers that I did see cry, they had monumentous wins that meant something. Monumentous wins. You are crying. No, you're crying, and then you try to say that the reason why you didn't beat Errol Spence is because you wasn't feeling yourself. So you've now come out 2 years later to try and take away your defeat from Errol Spence Jr., whereas Errol Spence Jr. was coming off a fucking crash from nearly died, and still beat you, Danny. And that was the worst version of Errol Spence that you could have absolutely capitalized on winning, and you still didn't. And you want to wait 2 years later and now say stuff. That's why I'm on Errol Spence Jr.'s side, and I'm hardly ever am on this one where Errol Spence Jr. replied like,
I agree. Earl called him out for that shit. He did. I agree.
I agree. You've made all of that void. I don't care if you've had depression. We don't care. I don't care if you feel that you need to just burst out into tears and that you've been a sore loser. I don't care if you have clinical or non-clinical. If you're going to make this such a big deal, it's better that you have clinical depression and that you're going to make it some kind of flagship thing that, you know, you've struggled through clinical, not because you've had one bout of anxiety and, you know, and you've had one bout of depression. No, get fuck off.
I think everybody deal with it different, though.
Well,
I think everybody deal with it.
Well, I mean, until people go through it, you know. I mean, sometimes some people never, you know, for us boxers, you know.
I would
deal
never
with it different over there.
I get what you're saying. I got to be consistent in my stance because I can't pick on Danny and then when fighters I like do it, I try to excuse it. But
I keep the same energy.
Yeah. I remember Mike Tyson getting emotional, wiping the tears, wiping sweat off Lennox Lewis after the fight was over. I was pissed.
That's a monumentous fight.
Yeah, I mean, but
are you comparing Danny Garcia with Jose one peg leg Benavidez?
I'm not doing that, but I'm saying we can't make
we can. I just said the rules. I said if it's monumentous, if you fucking fought a monumentous fight, I can see why you're overwhelmed. Like, I've trained so hard for this. This was one of the top guys in my division. I didn't think that I was coming in. I wasn't even the favorite. Danny Garcia came in as the favorite for girl.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, but I'm just saying Mike was talking about eating the kids, and it was a real. So when we see the guy wiping sweat off another boxer's face, I mean, a lot of guys don't do that. So I mean, that's my thing. We give passes to who we want to. That's the only thing I'm saying.
I listed the criteria. If it's a gargantua event. Like that's Lennox Lewis, Mike Tyson. Yes, if Mike Tyson was wiping the sweat off of fucking Joe Bloggs, then you could be like, yo, what the fuck is Mike doing? Like this is a monumentous fucking defeat or whatever. Loss. At the end of the day, so I get it, but it's not in passes. This is Danny Garcia taking away that his biggest fight, why he lost, because he had a bout of depression, even though he had a rap career and he had mixtapes. He's a multi-millionaire with all his he rents out all of these places. Not saying that just because you've got money you don't have depression. I get it before anybody interjects and says that. But what I'm saying is we're coming across with this pansy era of boxers. There's no room for it. There's no room for it. If you do have that problem, if you do have those problems, you go to a therapist and you address that there. You don't wait till after a boxing match that wasn't that great, unless that was a great defeat for you, then to pour out your heart. You've had 2 years. You've had 2 years to seek therapy for that. We don't need to hear it at this boring ass fight. We didn't need to hear that. We didn't need to make you a meme, and now you are a meme. Like, nah, just like you, Ryan, and whoever, you lot go up there.
Yeah, Ryan did use it too.
Yeah, we need the manly men over here. Like, this is boxing. No disrespect. If that's like you guys just said,
I don't think crying makes you not manly. That's just my opinion.
All right, can I finish without being interjected? If you just said that Jose Benavidez. You just said that Jose Benavidez is a shot fighter because he was shot in his leg and he doesn't have the mobility, does he? So we could take it as this, like, well, at least he's kept it pushing and he's still trying. Unfortunately, walking is a criteria to be able to box, right? Right?
Mm-hmm.
To have good mobility is a criteria to box. So unfortunately, we are happy that you can walk and that you recovered, but you are not of a level where that injury has not overshot what you can do. It has overshot what you can do. So unfortunately, you need to leave it now. We don't sit here and we're going to make pity parties. Everybody's got a problem. Everybody's got an issue. And if you've got mental health issues or you've got mental health issues, but you can overcome and have your counseling and still have alongside your counseling and still be a great boxer, then do so. But what I'm saying is, if you don't have strong mental fortitude, you cannot be in this sport. That's it. Doesn't make you less of a person, just doesn't make you being able to be a great boxer. Yeah. Hi, Ben. Go ahead.
You're right, Queen LadyChann. Yeah, can I ask you one thing about, obviously, the mental health situation?
Yeah, you're not a boxer, so this doesn't pertain to you. You're not a boxer, because I know.
No, obviously, no. I study. Yeah, I lost my mum last year. Yeah, I suffer with bad mental health. Yeah, depression, anxiety, a lot. Yeah, but I study the body language. Tyson Fury. I don't believe him. I reckon he's done that obviously to make the books and all that sort of stuff to make more money. Danny Garcia is trying to do the same thing as well, and all these other fighters as well. Yeah. And I studied Anthony Yarde. He lost a lot of family members due to the COVID situation.
Anthony Yard. Why does people keep it? It's not Yard. Yard. The East.
Sorry,
Yard.
Oh no, sorry, Yard. Sorry, Anthony Yard. Yeah. He lost a lot of family members. Yeah, and my heart goes out to him as well because I know what it feels like. But Anthony Yard, he gets on with it. He's come back. He beat Lyndon Arthur in a rematch and doesn't complain about it. This is the only little quick thing I wanted to say about this thing. Tyson Fury, I think he's just he's like doing it for the money to make the books and all this sort of stuff. And same with all these other people coming out, like Danny Garcia now and other people.
So, can I ask you a question, Ben? Do you So do you agree or disagree with my point that there's certain criteria that you have to have specific jobs in life, and we can't all have a pity party because you can't do it? Like, if you need to be mentally strong to be able to be in a mentally strong sport, but you have mental health that prohibits that from you doing that, then you can't do that sport. That's it.
No. Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, 100%.
Unless you can manage it. I believe that. I'm with you. I don't believe Tyson Fury has all of that. I just think it was a good comeback story and he's just used that to springboard. What I'm saying is, like, all men cry. Not a problem with a man crying. But we don't want to see it in the ring, fam. You understand?
Yeah,
we
I
don't
agree
want to
with you,
see it in the ring. If you at mediocrity, if you being mediocre, Danny Garcia, is overwhelming, this ain't the sport for you, son. Because you didn't beat Rocky Balboa. He at least is in the Hall of Fame and doesn't exist.
Queen CHANN, I'm not going to say too much on the live because I don't want you to be a better fan, but obviously you know the Predator channels and stuff like that. If you know what I'm talking about, yeah, they always class it as mental health and all this depression and stuff like that, which really pisses me off. If you know what I mean, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, don't you?
Yeah, just so
yeah.
All right then. Thank you, Ben, for calling.
Queen LadyChann and the blue lipstick. I love it.
Thank you very much.
Keep it up. Take care. Bye.
Take care.
Yeah.
I think it's Chan. Like, you remember how Buster Douglas cried after he beat Mike Tyson?
Mad.
That's when, because you just did something historic. You know what I mean? Like, no, you just.
Oh no, he beat. Wasn't he the one that? Who was the one that had the meltdown in the ring? Oh, it was Oliver McCall, wasn't it?
Oliver McCall.
Yeah.
With Lennox Lewis.
That was messed up. Yeah, that was messed up too. But like, but I'm talking about like Buster.
Yeah, but he had just got out of rehab.
Yeah. He was in a bad place mentally. He really was.
Yeah, but Buster Douglas. That's what I'm saying. You are to cry. You just knocked out Mike fucking Tyson after Mike Tyson dropped you first.
Mm-hmm.
And then that is what I'm talking about. Danny Garcia doesn't fit that criteria. Go away with that. Well, I don't care that and then you just try to discredit. Well, how come Spence didn't come out and say, well, at the end of the day, I was coming off a 1 year layoff, and Danny Garcia, he still gave Danny Garcia props. So no, I don't care about your little run of depression. Stop crying. Go away. We don't watch boxing to see you cry. We don't. Like, for that, we don't. So I don't care who don't like it. That's my stance. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I got a different stance, but it's all good.
Yeah. We don't want to. We don't.
I was
I know.
about to cry.
I don't really know
about
anyone
to
that
cry.
tunes into boxing to see people crying. Yeah, so, to moan that they had a bout of anxiety. Go and get help. Why didn't he get help then?
Yeah, I know. Did he see a therapist? Like, what did he take? Like, what did he do?
I don't
His
know.
therapist- his
I don't
therapist
personally
is
know
green.
what he did. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, then go and get some help and come back on the flip side, because you got to be mentally strong for this game. That's just one of the criterias that you need. That's what, like, to be a stunt crash driver. Guess what? You've got to have a driving license. That's the criteria that you need to be able to drive a stunt car. You know, there's criterias for things in life. Don't blame every other person if you don't meet the criteria. There's not everything in life that you meet the criteria for. It doesn't mean that you're supposed to have a fucking mental meltdown. You have to accept everybody has their lanes. There's things that I don't meet the criteria to do for a lot of things. But the things that I do meet the criteria to do, guess what? I do them. And I don't fucking bitch and talk about, oh, because of my anxiety and all that. Yes, no. It's not your lane, bud. Bow out. Your knee doesn't work because you got capped in it. Bow out. Okay? Okay.
Because, like, these boxing fans can be very cruel, and most of them aren't going to care.
We ain't got time for it. This is some new pansy age where everybody's coming in, oh, well, you know, I had depression. Everybody's had a bout of depression then. Like, but, you know, everybody has then. Everybody's been down. Everybody's had an anxious moment. If it's gonna overshadow your fucking activity as a boxer, then you need to leave. Simple. Don't let me see you cry again, Danny. Don't let me see you cry again. That was lame. Yeah. That was lame. Bud got shot in his head.
Drove himself to the hospital.
Drove himself to the hospital. Became undisputed. Undefeated still. 3 division champ. Beat the guy that beat Pacquiao. Jeff Horn. That was a monumentous feat. Or, you know, did you see Bud crying? That would be more reason. All right, then you cry. He don't cry. Because you know why? Because he has a tough mental fortitude. He doesn't let what happened to him overshadow his job. That's the type of people that we need in the workforce, that have careers. If you can't do it, don't blame us. You can't do it. Leave everybody else alone to get on and do it. Because everybody's got a fucking story. Jesus. I'm done. Yeah.
Done them.
Yeah, done them. That was sorry. I just had to. That was a monologue. My bad, and my humblest apologies for anybody that didn't want to hear that. But sometimes the truth is just. Sometimes we gotta hear.
Colonel Garcia, did you order the code red?
You don't have to answer that question.
I'll answer the question. You want answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
Can you hear me? Oh.
Yeah, we can now. Yeah, we can.
Okay. I said it. I'm about to get head up out of here. It was great being on the show.
Thank you so much, Ohio. We are wrapping it up. Thank you so much for coming through.
Ohio, you got a Twitter or anything?
Yeah, tell them. Yeah, he's got everything. Hey, let me put you up on the solo.
Yeah. I'm on Facebook and I'm on Facebook and IG or Instagram. It's easy to find. Ohio Runs Boxing. I cover the state from our amateurs all the way to the top. I also talk about other fighters across the pond because we eventually face them. But you can find me on Facebook under Marcus Nall and Ohio Runs Boxing on Facebook and Instagram, Ohio Runs Boxing. Thank you.
Thank you so much, babe. Thank you for coming through, Light and Mervyn. Woo. Thank you. Thank you so much. I hope to see you soon.
Take care.
Take care, babe. Thank you. Thank you very much. You know the ironclad LadyChann was in the building. Yeah, it was an interesting conversation, Sam Yali. Who do you think You think fighters who don't cry are mentally strong? No. Well, they're stronger than the ones that do. No. Everyone cries, bruv. Everyone cries, man. Well, but it's just like, and I'm sure everyone's at a time where they've maybe cried somewhere where you didn't feel that you should have cried. I don't know. I don't know.
It happens. I'm a testament. It happens. You can just cry.
It happens. You can just cry. But I mean, it was like the run of play. You've cried there, then you've taken away Spence's fucking defeat and made it like you wasn't that great because you wasn't on your A game because you was feeling down at that time. That's why you lost to Spence. So like it was just all of that in package for me, plus with the highlights of what I saw of a crap fight, and you haven't done much. Oh yeah, but that's because you had anxiety. So it's like, which one are you going to pick?
It's like you fought the worst possible version of Spence anybody's ever fought and still couldn't beat him.
This is what I'm saying. You fought the worst. This is where you could have capitalized on beating a Spence. That's like Wilder couldn't beat the worst version of Tyson Fury.
Yeah, when we came off his layoff, couldn't beat him.
And at least I don't know. Wilder didn't cry, but he definitely showed that he's not mentally strong, because as soon as he got like a couple beat downs, man was talking about he wants to retire or
all the excuses. Don't forget about those.
What noise is that?
I don't know. It's not me.
My bad. That was me. My phone was ringing. Had to turn it off. Had to silence it.
Yeah.
Oh,
my bad.
Like as soon as he got beat, he decided to I need to go and take ayahuasca and all of this. So has he got strong mental fortitude? Everybody wants to say AJ's weak. I see quite the opposite. Like people that continue on, or you can even say, look at AB, gets beat by Maidana, crumbles, you're never the same again.
He started crying as soon as they announced the decision, out the ring. Come on, bro, come on, my guy. You know what I mean?
This is what I'm
stuff
saying.
Like that. Yeah.
This is what I'm saying. It's just not on. It's not on, and then you want to be saying, "Stop that soft shit up" to Leonard Ellaby.
That was funny. I'm not gonna lie.
You just did the same thing though, but you was just barling in the ring because you lost, because you got the back. See, this is what I'm saying. So I keep it consistent. It's not about who I feel that's it. No, that's all some bullshit. Go away with that. We ain't got time for that shit. It's bollocks. And then you got Teofimo Lopez coming out doing his stuff, and then you've got fucking who's the next one? Who was the next one that was moaning that they've got mental health? Ryan Garcia, that nobody believed, because you were saying that you had mental health, but yet you was bullying everyone, cyberbullying on Twitter.
You talk shit to Devin. You talk Devin after.
So I'm not listening to all of that. So if you have got that, sorry, you're making it bad for the people that generally do suffer with it. This is my point. But at the end of the day, this is the criteria. This is the lion's den, man. It's the lion's den, and you gotta Matt just cry in the car. He gonna cry in the car. He could have cried afterwards. I just thought it was bad losership, that what he said about Errol Spence. I just thought, that was a bit low. That was
tacky. That really was.
That was tacky. Yeah, that was tacky. So that's why Danny.
Chan, like you said, I'm not on Earl's side, but I agreed with him. I'm glad he could clap back on him like that, because that's some BS, bro.
Yeah, that's some BS. You wait 2 years then to say that. None of it was appropriate, even if you said it straight after the fight. But I would have respected you more if you would have said, you know what, wasn't really on my A game. A couple of things that was going on around me. If you would have said that straight away after the fight, after the loss. But you wait 2 years, and then you wait till you get in the ring, beat a D-level at this point fighter, and then just have this verbal diarrhea. No, I can't respect it. Get out. Yeah. So that's why I'm not having any sympathy. Yeah, people who don't cry are actually mentally weak, according to science. Yeah, I don't
really
like you can be I don't know, you could be weak and be a crier. You could be weak and don't be a crier. You could be a crier but strong. You could be there's not. I'm sure there's no exact science to it. It's just about how that is in context of things, in the run of play. It's just Yeah, I just think maybe he was overwhelmed. He hasn't been winning for a long time. He's underachieved. You know, he went from being, you know, the champion, you know, a champion and stuff, and then doing a whole division where, you know, he just underachieved in the end. And maybe this was overwhelming that, yeah, I won. I get it. You know, but, you know, like at the end of the day, Derek Chisora had 12 losses on the trot. He had one win. You could see he was massively happy. But like, if we would have all sat there and saw Derek Chisora break down and cry, it would have never happened. Like, this is what I'm saying. Because he's a warrior.
Derek made stir stuff in that.
Warrior. Yes, he's a warrior. Oh, these new booty little dudes there, all crying, mental health. No, I'm not up for it. I'm not down for it. Y'all are liars. That's the thing as well. I don't even believe some of them as well. That makes it even worse. If you're not strong, get out the sport. Bye.
LadyChann, Ben is asking you something in the comments, the last one.
I'm wrapping the show up.
Okay.
Wrapping the show up. I would like let me thank Arlette, who was a caller, and Ben Adams. Thank you for calling in the building. Our panel members was AJ All Day, Sister Bells in the building.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Always welcome, Queen. We had King of King Boxing and Ohio Run Boxing in the building. And we had my co-host, Kenny Ken, in the building. So let me say, thank you. Let me call out everybody. So LOC in the building. GG in the building. Sammy Ali in the building. Stephen T in the building. T-Choa in the building. Who else did we have? Arthur Alert in the building. It's pretty much the same with you lot. Yes, my guy, Modern King Boxing, King Ronda Don in the building. Who else did we have in the building? New Media Today, USA Boxing, Coach Malachi in the building. Midnight Conversations podcast in the building. You just said, what about AB? I saw that and I thought, yeah, we said AB, he done. UGC Flame in the building. Swab Boxing in the building. Who else do we have that was here? Yeah, I don't see any more new names. And I don't think we forgot. Miss Ringside is in the building. Who else do we have? You see the spammer. This site was spamming, wasn't it? Wizard Sleeve Views in the building. Who else was in the building? G Martinez, you was in the building. Thank you for coming through. Who else was here? Was that all? Well, it's the same. Not taking any calls at the minute, I'm afraid. No calls, sorry. The show is over. So no calls being taken right now. So I am going to say thank you. And thank you for Ronald Finkley for the super chat in the building. Thank you so much. So what we say is, who else can we play? We when you come to CHANN, we only deal with the truth.
Colonel Jessup, did you order the code red?
You don't have to answer that question.
I'll answer the question. You want answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
A lot of people can't. But anyway, I'm gone. Hey girl, it's LadyChann, nonetheless. Come box with CHANN. Oh yeah, guys, we will have on Wednesday, non-members will only be able to have about 10 minutes with the conversation. We're going to speak to Rick Glazier. He will be in the building. So we'll be talking about, obviously, Errol Spence, Bud Crawford. We'll be talking about the model, the PPV model. We'll be talking about Anthony Joshua, Canelo. Why are they the cash cows? What is the true meaning of cash cows? We're going to deep dive. So, yeah, so check that out. Guys, if you're not a member, for $2.99, you should become a member because we're gonna be flying off with the members only. Like I said, so the first part of the chop up for 10 minutes will be for non-members, and then it will cut and it will go straight to members only. So I urge you to become a member. So shouts out to Rick Glazier. But anyway, I'm gone. Hey girl, it's LadyChann repping on this. Come box with Chan. Gyan. LadyChann has left the building. Gyan. LadyChann.
Fight.